Hello, everyone. Welcome to a very special Stud Buds live stream with an awesome guest that we have lined up for tonight. Epik Bricks in the house. I'm just going to give it a couple seconds to load in and make sure that we can get everybody here, making sure that all the notifications are sent out before we have our proper introductions. Fazoom is in the house. Cool Guy Dom in the house. It's great to see this chat lit up in the way it is. Got a ton of people here ready to take part in the show tonight already. Now, let's get ready to get this party started. Alrighty. So he can finally drive a car, but in 3 years, let's take him to the bar. It's Ethan the Artisan.
What? I am disappointed you didn't use an epic pun. Like,
I did it in the description.
Okay,
for the video. Okay. He's a cat lover and really like no other. It is Bricking Up Brad. Somewhere around here. There we go. There he is.
What's up, all? How you doing tonight?
And then for Lego, he will make it rain. But he's come tonight to entertain. It's Zane, aka Block Studios.
What up?
I like that one.
We need to get some good intro music in here, guys, for the future. Like,
Oh, we do, yeah, huh? Oh, okay.
And lastly, he is the true Lego TikTok OG and a pretty
Brick
big
Daddy himself.
and a pretty big member of this community. It's Epik Bricks.
Hey, how's it going, everybody?
Let's go.
Brick Daddy, I like it.
I saw recently on your TikTok it says father of hashtag
It says
Lego
father.
TikTok.
Oh my goodness.
Which that's true. I mean,
Father, not
it
dad.
He really is, though. He really is. He's the one that kind of started it all.
I don't want to
Yeah.
say king because that sounds almost like, I don't know, it
Yeah.
sounds like too much. I'm not better. I'm just,
Yeah.
I kind of started a movement in my eyes on TikTok.
Yeah, no, you definitely
Yeah.
did.
Gave everyone the encouragement and everything they needed to, let their Lego light shine.
Oh. And I can't wait to get into it and ask you how that journey started later tonight. But let's just go around, first of all, and see how everybody's week was and if there's anything new with Lego in your life. Starting with Ethan. What's
it was
up?
no, I'm just. I made earlier with Matt Mellish's live stream a couple of days ago. Zane Block Studios told me to build a chicken nugget, and we got it right here. We got the singing chicken nugget that its hat just fell.
We just lost
he's
the hat, Ethan.
it's got. Yeah, I know. But I'm using a rubber band piece as the lips, which
The
that's
rubber
pretty
band?
cool.
I
Mhm,
just
the
read that
Lego-
comment that Fazoom left. Oh, God.
But yeah, the back is kind of hideous, but we don't look at that. And one thing I really like is the tire. I like using treads as like
Nice.
foundations. It's something
That's
that's
awesome.
simple, but it looks good. That was
Very
my
creative.
week.
Very creative.
This is my last day or my last hours as a TFO, if you guys know what that means.
Woo! Guys, finally he can be an actual member of Stud Buds. coming up
Yes.
here.
I can actually feel I won't change.
Do you feel like an adult yet? Do you feel any
Oh,
older?
Nah. I feel like I'm 12. A good way to put it. I'm a mature 12-year-old. That's a
I'm
good way to put
28
it.
and it never changes, dude. Probably.
Yeah. I was just going to say, I think we all feel that way, Ethan. That's a good thing. Brad, how was your week?
It's been pretty good since the last time I was here. I know you weren't here this past week, Matt, on Stud Buds, but
Unfortunately.
guys, I did tell Matt about this when if you missed this 12-hour live stream, which was a lot of fun. I picked up some Lego Sunday, so starting off with a Trouble on Tatooine. I was able to pick that up finally, and to go with it, we got a Minecraft set, which I still need to finish building. Because if you know me, I like getting that Minecraft theme recently.
Oh,
On top of that,
Recently?
I got some.
Recently.
True. And then on top of that, I did get the freebie of the Carrot House, which I'm super excited to build this because this is just looks amazing. And I hear there's some actually unique pieces that only come with this and Dying Alley. So I'm really excited about that.
Ooh.
And then the last thing
Gimme.
is to start my 12-month of Lego bags. I got a poly bag. If you don't know what I'm doing, I'm gonna actually buy a special poly bag from each month just to gift with purchases. You know, usually they're like $40. You have to spend to get one. So I'm gonna try to get one from each month, and at the end of the year, build them all. Which I'm missing the one from January, so I have to pick that up. So that's my goal.
Is it going to be like how you said no more Star Wars sets, but then you just buy more Star Wars?
I didn't say absolutely no more Star Wars. Let's get this straight. I never said I was done with Star Wars. I said I was going to try to back off from Star Wars. But I did say that there were some sets I wanted to get before I did that. Okay, let's make sure my intentions were clear here.
They
this
weren't.
wasn't live,
They were not.
If this wasn't live, Matt would pull up a screen of you saying.
We need to
Just
have a
pull up-
segment. We need to make that a segment where I pull up all the times that Brad, like in a
Has said that he's
nicely
gonna do
edited
something and never
format.
did it. But yeah, that was my week. And I don't know what new Lego I'm gonna get because I'm still waiting for those gift with purchases to come out on the calendar. So
Nice. Mr. Epik Bricks,
Yo.
aka grandfather of Lego TikTok.
The
How was your week?
Godfather.
Godfather.
Pretty good,
Gotta get
How was
pretty
your
good.
week, Lego Daddy?
Selling Lego, buying Lego, playing with Lego, sometimes building it when I have extra time. I'm trying to build something that I can basically hold on for the rest of my life, but that's that way I can play a little more in the future. So I'm trying to do all the work now, but I've been definitely working and trying to get more of the Bricklink store expanded upon, and not just
Nice.
the new parts that I have, but also going more into use, because a lot of people like accessories and they like to customize their minifigures and stuff like that. And to do that, it's a lot more footwork or whatever you want to call it to get that stuff organized and then actually put up on the store. And then it's been a decent amount of driving this week for a couple of different offer up deals that I bought. Like nothing huge, but I got a couple different Star Wars Lego hauls, or couple, not even, I wouldn't even call them mystery boxes, but just bulk buys where you're like, hey, $30 for a bin, sure, let's see what's in there, kind of deal. So just
That's
the regular Lego life.
Epic.
There's gonna be a lot of epic puns this podcast.
It's okay.
Yeah.
For me having the name, I don't use the epic pun as much as I think I should, because it's easy material right there.
I know, right?
It rates itself. It really does.
It's
Zane?
definitely good content. What? Yes, sir. Mhm.
You've come to entertain. How was your week?
I have it was rather fantastic. It was like the first week in a long time I have not purchased a Lego.
Wow.
So
Which is
do we
very
just get
hard.
into the ASMR portion of this?
Like,
But you
as
didn't.
guys-
Didn't you make a big purchase in another way?
in a big I bought a $50,000 car.
That's just
Nice.
a smidge different from buying Lego.
Yeah. So I have to kind of slow down on the Lego purchases for a while.
There you
That's
go.
what I keep saying too.
Everyone, his PO box is in the his link tree.
Yeah,
Give
guys,
them
I
a
can't
Lego
buy
set.
Legos yet. Send me some Legos. I can't buy them.
Yeah, help the
Just,
addict out, guys.
Yeah, I mean, like I don't have enough, right? Like I need some more.
I need to start building and displaying mine before I buy more.
See, but you guys, all of us are like slightly different. Like I clearly
Definitely.
like to just put everything out for everyone to see. You sell everything. Brad has pirates and things all over the place. Like we're all just so unique in our own way.
I destroy.
Yeah,
I was gonna ask
Ethan,
Ethan, where did all your sets go?
No,
They're
I
gone.
think when because you met Parker recently, and that's because you set up a studio with Lego sets in them, right?
Oh, you did.
Yeah, I saw that
Oh.
video, by the way.
That's
Oh, yeah.
amazing.
Oh, yeah.
It was
Looks so much
fun.
fun. Looks so
Mhm.
much fun.
I've never seen so many Lego sets in one room. It's
What state are you in again, Ethan?
Texas.
Texas. Do you guys have a Legoland out there? I can't remember.
We got a
Even
lot
a
of Lego
Discovery
stores,
Center?
but no. Wait, there might be one. I'm not sure. Maybe
I
if
don't
there
think
is
there's
one,
Lego
it's
Land
up in
in
San Antonio. But I don't know.
I just wanted to say hi to
You have
Yeah.
two
Lisa.
discovery centers.
Our
that
favorite
means you have
fan.
two master builders in your state. I would recommend trying to get in contact with them, like I have with Alec here in Arizona.
I
Yeah.
love his TikTok.
Also,
His-
can we just say that was the first like kind of big collab of Lego TikTokers
Yeah.
you could say, like actually meeting, and that was awesome. That was awesome.
Speaking of, I will be meeting him again at some point. It's a little busy right now for spring. So I got a jet flying over my house, but for spring, it's
Hey,
pretty
my
busy
house
there for
doesn't
spring break.
Nice.
But I definitely will be collaborating with him again, and I would definitely, since you are yourself what I would consider a master builder, definitely go get in contact, not just to meet him, but dude, you never know when you could be sitting in that spot, dude.
Yeah.
He has exactly-
you're an amazing builder, dude.
Thank you. He has exactly what I want. Like that was awesome.
Oh yeah.
That's awesome.
It's every Lego builder's dream, and it's the kind of what I've still been pushing for, but I haven't dove too far into mock building as much as I intended to when I first started getting not only just Lego TikTok, but getting back into Legos. And it was like, oh, I'm going to get all this stuff together. I'm going to get all my stuff organized, and then I'm going to build stuff like crazy. But then I was like, I really like the reselling aspect of it, and I really like building it still, but it's still like on the back burner for me.
Yeah. The one thing that I say as a beginner, or not beginner, but as a mock builder, start small and work your way big. Do not start big.
Like
That's
a chicken nugget.
it's a project that if you start big, you're not like
Setting
even
yourself up
with
for failure.
Christoph's, I'm still not ready for it because but if you start a big project, make sure you have, do a lot of bricklink orders, or the project will end up taking far long and you kind of lose motivation for it.
Planning is very important. Plan. But that's good that your second date lined up, Epic. With Alex.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. Do we want to get into the show? Do we want to get into the interview? Alrighty. Let's give Mr. Epic the hot seat. Beautiful.
Epic has the hot seat.
All right, I'm ready.
Do we want to just go from top down?
Sure.
Asking questions? Beautiful.
Oh, I'm okay. Cool. I actually came prepared this time. I actually wrote. Do you like pizza? No.
I'm a delivery driver, so it's a love-hate relationship.
I can understand that one.
Okay, so this is just a question. What do you think sets you apart from all the other Lego TikTokers? What do you think got you in the position where you are?
One, I think it's the variety of Lego content that I do. I think it's because I never try to stick to one. I'm always I'm exploring things for the first time. Almost like anytime you see me do a video for the first time, that's like literally an idea popped into my head and I figured I'd try it. But other than the variety, I think it's the wholesomeness. I think a lot of people have said, and then other than that, it's probably maybe the enthusiasm that I bring, because I think a lot of people have been like, hey, you've inspired me to get back into Lego, or I didn't think adults were into it, or I didn't think that people were into it past just a childhood toy. So I think other than that, that's probably what it is. But that's a lot, what's gotten to you guys where you guys are as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I mean, you're like with TikTok, there wasn't really a Lego community on TikTok until you showed up, which is really cool.
That's actually all you can thank a person named Gary Vaynerchuk, or Gary V, if you know who he is. He's an entrepreneur. He's all over TikTok and kind of social media, but he's the one who kind of pushed me, because he would talk about when he was doing wine review videos on YouTube back in like the dark ages of YouTube, when he's like, I was doing stuff when nobody else was doing it. And then you look 10 years down the road, where are they now? And then I just thought, well, shoot, this is my chance. TikTok is, a fairly new thing. It wasn't brand new when I got on a year and a half ago, but it was still no Lego content. So it was new in what I was doing. So I was like, I gotta, hit the ground running and be that first person. And it ended up working out pretty well since I stuck with it.
Mm-hmm. Also, I know I'm asking two questions, but
absolutely,
I guess to let everyone know, when did you start Lego TikTok? Like, when was your first video?
The first actual video was, I think, like October 13th of 2019. So that was like literally, it's a vertically or a horizontally shot video. So you actually have to you would have to turn your phone or turn your head to watch it. And it's literally just me pulling open some of my drawers with a random song in the background, and then a huge rainbow emoji sticker thing that's plastered on it. And that was my first ever TikTok. And then it really wasn't, because that was in October of 2019. And then it wasn't until like the end of December that I was like, okay, I gotta start like posting more. And then it was early January 2020 when Lego Star Wars, the hashtag, blew up. And I don't know if you guys remember, but everybody had Lego Star Wars profile pictures. And I was like, this is my chance. I started, that's when I really started like posting 3 to 5 times a day. I would like, hey, this, I'm Nathan, I do Lego stuff. Or, hey, I've got Star Wars Legos. Cause that was the whole kind of thing right then was, Star Wars Legos. So I was showing off that. And it was like, that's when it really started booming, was early January. As soon as that Lego Star Wars trend hit, I rode that wave all the way to where I am now. Seriously.
That's funny.
From zero.
That's funny because I started October. I think it was October 13th was my first video.
That's crazy.
Check that. And then I posted 2 videos and I took a break and I started back in January. I didn't really get big until it was funny.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah. But it wasn't until I didn't really get growth until my tensegrity build, which I was like the trend that was perfect for
dude, that
my
build is amazing. I still every time I see that I have to watch the video. I'm like, it's not even old news at this point. It's that cool. Because it fills the tense gritty, it does the thing. And then on top of that, you've made it make sense into the world of Star Wars. It's so perfect. Everything about it works.
Yeah, and I was just I want to quickly say, because you were talking about inspiring people and building off of that. I know for myself, and I saw some people in chat who have known and been inspired, like Ben the Brick Builder. Like we saw you do that. We saw you do the Lego content. We're like, wait, we love Lego, and I love putting a phone in front of me and doing stuff.
Exactly.
Like I should go do this. And I actually saw your content, and that's how I started posting. It was like, oh my gosh, this dude is doing what I love to do. I love Lego. I always feel like I'm a freak because I'm an adult who loves Lego, but you know what? But he's showing us that it's okay. And so I think you were spot on with you've inspired so many people to go do that. And I think that's what we've seen.
It's really surreal. Now. It doesn't even now I don't think it's fully set in. I appreciate it, but it's just I don't even think I can imagine the amount of people if they were physically in front of me, what that would feel like for them to all be like, yo, thank you. No, but for real, thank you. And reading it in a comment sometimes desensitizes it for my brain, I think. Yeah. But dude, it's insane.
Yeah. But so how did you start in Lego? What was the reason you wanted to start, building with Lego or buying Lego sets? What got you into Lego? What was your kind of Lego adventure?
I guess my full Lego history I've collected since I can remember. My parents have bought me, they started me on Duplo at whatever age. And then some of my first memories of Lego were when my mom was getting together my Duplo and putting them back in the boxes piece by piece so she could resell them and then start buying some of my first actual Lego sets. So those are literally very just cloudy, weird memories of me watching my mom piece these sets out. So maybe that's why I'm a Bricklink seller and I like to part sets out and resell them, is because that's my first ever memory. But no, then after that, I kind of just, they grew up with it, from about the age of, whatever, 3, 4, whenever they started buying them for me. And basically up till the age of 13, 14 is really when I started to just really fade out of it. And then it wasn't until I think I was 24 or 25 when I was about let's I saw people like Jang Bricks and all the other YouTubers, same deal. You guys are telling me, literally same story, but I just, that's how, I continued it on. So I just saw someone was like, holy cow, there's people doing this out there with a huge passion, and other people like to watch it too. Mm-hmm. So, I started collecting and getting back into it. And then I was collecting, not crazy collecting. I was more focused on the first year because I also wasn't doing it necessarily every day, all day, I like to do now. But I basically took my entire childhood collection and sorted that. And that took, immense hours, and got that into the drawers you see here, but over there. Mm-hmm. And then that's when I was like, hey, at that point I was buying stuff for myself, but I was seeing the kind of deals that you could get on OfferUp and stuff locally, at garage sales. And I was like, holy cow, I'm able to keep stuff that I want, that's cool. And then anything that I don't want, clearly there's a market for it. So I could just resell it. So that's kind of what got me into the Lego reselling, is because it's fun. You get to kind of treasure hunt, but also, benefit from it at the same time.
And I don't know if you do the same thing. Like I have a Lego addiction. I look at Lego and I want to buy it, but it's fun to look at Lego sets that you're going to buy to make money off of and use that excuse in your head. It's like you get to have that fun experiment of looking for like Lego deals, but you don't actually keep it, and it's not a drain on your bank account.
I definitely have much more fun buying used. I love buying new sets, but it's like, it's obviously predictable. Like if there's it's either, you know, a set will come out and then my brain will decide, do I want it or do I not? And do I want to pay that price or do I not? And then it's settled, you know, it's like I go into the store and I buy it. Whereas used, it's like this, you know, you could buy this $100 bin, which does have a couple of sets that you see the value in for the $100, but then you dig through and you're like, oh my God, there's a like literally, I bought a $20 box of Lego one time thinking it was just basic, you know, bulk. Maybe I'd find a few minifigures. The entire Saturn shuttle was in there. The Saturn rocket was in there. Yeah. The whole thing minus maybe a couple pieces I've got to find, but it was in chunks, just all broken up in a $20 box. And I'm like, incredible. Didn't even think I was going to be getting that, but I got it.
Did you keep it or did you sell it?
I still have that as a set I wanted to keep, but I haven't actually. I've disassembled it and part checked it, and I've got the parts list, but I have the box that I got it from still separate. So that way I could at least give the box a look through for the pieces that are missing before I go and make a Bricklink order. But that is a set because like most, it's, you know, it's a set that I want to keep, but because it's Lego ideas, that's another theme that I really like to collect.
Yeah.
And that helps. But yeah, that'll definitely be a set that I'm keeping. So that was a steal.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Zane.
Cool. Well, so first, are those wine bottles behind you? Is that
they
Lego
are.
and wine?
Funny, it kind of actually goes back to Gary V or Gary Vaynerchuk, the guy who inspired me to basically do all this. He's a big wine aficionado, and he started his own wine. He has a big history in liquor and stuff like that, but he's a big wine guy, and this is his own company, Empathy Wines. And my girlfriend had bought me the set of his wines from his company as a anniversary gift last year. Kind of when I was starting Lego TikTok, and it was based, she got, you know, sent me a note that was like, you know, I believe in you, everything you're doing, like keep pushing, like, you know, keep grinding kind of deal, because it was, you know, that was the whole kind of message, because it was from someone who inspired me to do all this in the first place. So now I keep it on my shelves as kind of like a reminder and motivation. And, you know, it's funny because it's a conversation piece, because actually it's funny because you noticed it, and then my viewers notice it every once in a while. They're like, oh, Nate's getting lit. I'm like, oh God.
All Lego and storage bins, and then you got some wine in there. I mean, I wouldn't be getting drunk around the Lego. I get a little tipsy and fall, and
there goes the Falcon.
Wait, is that really how that crash happened, Amy had you? Is that what happened?
Yeah, I was a little drunk, and I knocked over the Tantive and then the Saturn V and everything and the stuff. I don't know if you saw that, Epic, but I broke the Saturn V, the space station, and it's up there, the Tantive, yeah.
Oh,
like they all fell on top of each other in a live stream.
Collab.
That's
wow.
Going out in a dumpster fire. Let's do that.
I have to be careful if I get back in my chair too much. I'll hit these, and these aren't like, you know, they're racks, so they kind of roll around. And I've had my whole entire Big Ben almost fall down on me before, and that's about 4,000 pieces of 1x1s that you don't want to clean up.
No, not at
Matt, that almost happened on your stream. Remember, I like accidentally stood up and I knocked the shelf behind me. That's just like
I do remember that.
Hooks. And I was just like, I'm good.
We just weren't gonna address it.
We're just gonna blow past it. Okay, so now to my real question.
Yes.
What is whether it's a piece, a set, a figure, what's something that people are always asking you if you have?
I mean, other than Star Wars figures, because I feel like that's a given, but maybe it's not. But otherwise, Star Wars figures, 100% people will be like,
Captain Rex.
Yeah, well, like they'll want captains, commanders, they'll ask for those, but then it's just like, hey, I go on your Bricklink store and I only see 1 or 2 minifigures, and that's what I see every time I go on. What's the deal? And it's usually because, you know, even when I stock, like let's say I add 400 unique Star Wars figures, they're going to be gone in like 2 days, like minimum. If not, a majority of them, 80 to 90% of them will be gone in 2 hours. Then the rest of them will trickle off, you know, depending on how desirable or whatever pricing I may have at the moment. It sometimes changes up depending on the availability, but basically it's pretty much like first come, first serve. And if you're not like literally glued to my Instagram, and watching for when I'm going to be reopening by the hour, and then because usually I'll go live also before my bigger restocks. So if people aren't like watching live, it's really hard to like find those items in stock because they're gone so quickly. Whereas the bricks, obviously, if I have hundreds of thousands and hundreds of varieties, those aren't flying off the shelves. But it's definitely Star Wars figures.
Yeah. If
does
you
anyone ever
happen to-
ask you to save any? Like, does anyone ever like reach out to you and be like, "Hey, can you hold on to this for 2 days till I can buy it?"
And it's funny because you can usually tell they're slightly younger viewers, but they'll be like, "Hey, let me know, tag me when you get this." I'm like, "Bro, you and 5,000 other people, right?"
Yeah.
I'd love to, but it's just not how it works. But every once in a while, if I've got people that I know have been viewers and they're in my streams constantly, and I know them by name, and we're basically pals, there'll be times where I may, give someone like a little bit of an early, and also if they've ordered if they've spent money with me, that makes me more inclined to be like, hey, yeah, I'll give you a little bit of a foot in the door to get some more stuff because you've obviously, you've kind of earned it at this point. Like I can't say no to someone who's supporting me personally.
If you happen to have about a couple of thousand light bluish gray cheese slopes, hit me.
What color?
Light bluish gray.
I got light or dark bluish gray ones, I think, but not light.
There you go, Ethan. You could
Not a
compliment
ton.
your palette.
Oh wait, I did get it. Not thousands. I did get a couple hundred. They're light gray, not cheese slopes, but they're the little. They're 1x1s and they're tiny, but they're the little like rooftop slopes. But they're still like a 1x1 scale, so they're not cheese slopey, but they're still slopey.
What's funny is I did a big order like a couple.
Oh, you need it
weeks
for your
ago
floor, huh? Don't you? Your tiles.
Yeah.
That's what you need it for.
But I remember I did a cheese slopes, and out of the 1,000, there was one of those parts that you're talking about.
Okay.
Someone accidentally.
Yep, it happens when you're sorting through that many parts, dude. There's been times where I'm
yeah.
like, oh, I need to put this part back in this thing because it's another white piece that just slipped by.
Oh, another interesting question is how many if you have like a
Skipping over
big
Matt there,
order.
like-
If
It's
there's
fine.
like a-
Leave him go. He's fine. He's excited.
or like if someone does a big order, how confident are you that you did the exact amount? Like if someone does like 1,000 parts, how confident are you?
Well,
that you
it
have-
depends because let's say they order like 50 different pieces and however many that makes to make 1,000 or whatever. But like it depends on how, because if I'm only if each one that they order is like 10, I mean, I'm counting those 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 out of the drawer into a baggie. So those ones are going to be the most accurate, but it's when I get an order for like recently, I got an order of 2,000 1x1 studs. And I bought a counting scale, a very high precision. It's not just like a kitchen scale, like for weighing food. It down to I think it's down to the thousandths that it measures to. So that way you can put 10 studs on there and then click a button and it knows there's 10 on there. And then every one you add, it'll actually just add 1 to the count. And I actually had an order recently where it was 2,000. So what I did also is I saved some of those specific studs on the side. So that way on an order, I could always put 1 or 2 extra. But on those, I'm pretty confident because of the scale I bought was $150 and it was meant to count small individual pieces like that. So hopefully it works. But otherwise, I'm pretty confident most of it. And also that's the thing is like, if there's ever a small mistake, that's the reason I've never had a bad review is I've always made it right. If I've ever made any big, small, whatever it is, I've always problem solved and made it better for the customer.
And that's good. Okay, back to you, Matt. Sorry.
No, you're fine. You're fine, man. I completely understand it. I honestly, I wouldn't have thought of that question, which was really good. But I don't know if you know this. I don't know if you guys really know a lot about it, but I mean, Epik, that same reason that you started doing Lego TikTok is the literal exact same reason that I started, like word for word. And it completely works, right? Like documenting, not just creating, which is what Gary Vee preaches.
Exactly.
And you've done that to the letter, my friend. And you take much more of the, educational business perspective. I try to be more of an entertainer, but it works. And I mean, props to you for starting this community and all that you've been able to do for Lego TikTok and Lego as a whole, really. But what I wanted to ask you was, when it comes to the business side of things, I know you are extremely busy. I mean, it was hard enough to get you on this show, but how do you balance your personal life with Lego as a Lego fan with your business life?
It's honestly a constant. It's still even a struggle to. This is all new to me. Like I didn't bring some following over from Instagram, and I haven't been doing this for years. TikTok is my ground zero. Like literally, I started at 0 followers and maybe had what my friends added on Instagram kind of deal. So I started at literal nothing. So I mean, for me, it's just more about. I'm trying to lose my train of thought here, but basically, I want to just show people that it is something that you can get into very easily. And sorry, I just kind of lost my train of thought completely. What was
No,
the
you're
question
fine.
again?
No, how do you balance the love for Lego that you have and like
For
building
me,
and buying sets with the business side of like going and hunting?
For me, it's really just, doing it when you can, dedicating some sort of, when you are looking on OfferUp, especially, you have to be kind of flexible. And that's kind of where I had to take a little bit more time away from my regular job, is because if I was at work doing a 40-hour work week, there was almost no way that I was going to be able to run across town and pick up this Lego deal. Even, because most times with OfferUp, you've got to go pick it up the next day or the day of, or that person's going to sell it to someone else, especially if it's a rock solid deal. It's not going to last. So for me, it's still a struggle. It's still figuring out when I want to do this, or when I want to make content, or what, like you said, with like documenting, not creating, like what do I want to document, or what do I want to create in the moment? And for me, it's sometimes a struggle to like do one thing, because sometimes I'll get distracted by one project, mostly finish it, and then get distracted by the next one before I fully finished 2 projects ago, kind of deal. So it's definitely a struggle. But what I would recommend is, especially with Lego, the one thing I have done is, for as crazy as everything is, I'm pretty dang organized. Like I don't leave too many like what do we call, like shame boxes, where it's just, like a whole bunch of stuff that you're going to get to later. And most of my stuff is just bulk. It's literally just bulk that I need to maybe sort through, but there's not a lot of projects. But like every night before I go to bed, if I have something like a project or something kind of laying out and cluttering, I always make sure to clean it up before I go to bed, because if you don't, it's just like continues to grow, and you'll end up with a very cluttered mess. This with Lego, because it's extremely easy to go overboard to the point where you can't even keep track of stuff anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Got it. But you still have time to build your personal collection and stuff and enjoy it for, as a hobby, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't do as much set building as I want to, because I get a little distracted by the other things. But definitely, I try to get as much of a little bit of everything. And I think that's the way my brain works, is I need to do a little bit of this. Otherwise I get burnt out. And that's maybe why I do so much of everything Lego.
Yeah, no, I totally understand. Because I've suffered with that myself, and like making it be just as enjoyable for me to build Lego on my own, but also, make it a part of whatever business aspect that it is, with filming TikToks and making it a part of your life in that way.
It does get difficult. Like literally, like you said, Matt, like with me, like being married, having my life that I have, working 40 hours plus, working weekends, stuff like that. I don't have a Bricklink thing like you guys do, which to me is amazing, because I have ADHD out the wazoo. G-rated content.
G-rated. No, I appreciate that.
So I see it. Yeah. Oh, that took a lot. So, like all your organization back there, and then everything. Like I just have mad respect for you, because like coming home and setting like an hour aside to make a couple of TikToks to be able to post tomorrow, or have a little extra for the next day if I just work too late or whatever. And then on top of your work, you also do Bricklink, have a relationship, and film TikToks and build some sets when you can. It's more than I do.
It's you want to know what's interesting? You say ADHD, because I over the last about year or so, and thanks to TikTok, they kind of help diagnose with everything. But I'm pretty sure I've gone my whole life undiagnosed with ADHD, because I'm starting to realize that it's more than just those, those little like, oh, you can't pay attention. It's like it's more than just that. And because recently I don't know if you've seen how much I've been posting lately. It's been a lot less than normal, and I have been struggling a lot with motivation. And it seems silly, because it's like it's stuff you want to do. It's stuff you're interested in, but then you get down to it, and it's like your brain is just, there's this block, and you it's like you want to do it, but you can't. And that's kind of where I've been at about the last month. So it is a little bit of a struggle when it comes to trying to balance it all. But like you said, trying to come home and even do just a couple of TikToks is sometimes it seems like not much because they're only 20 to 30 second TikToks at sometimes. And then, the idea seems simple enough, but then you don't see all the iterations that you go through in your head and all the overthought, which isn't always necessary because some of for me, some of my most successful videos are some of the most candid ones. I have one video that's like 2 million views, and all it was me replying to a comment because someone had asked like kind of about the Bricklink store, and I was like, yeah, I basically just part out sets, just held up the camera. I'll just say, yeah, I just part out sets, and a 15-second video, I wake up the next day, 800,000 views, and it's like, so sometimes I think I overthink it, but yeah, it's definitely sometimes a bit of a struggle with a possible neurodivergent brain. I can definitely level with that.
The worst
I don't know if
part
it's ADHD, but I'm definitely neurodivergent in some way, shape, or form.
I can understand that. I run into the same thing over the past year. I've realized I'm like, I might be undiagnosed with ADHD, or something around the time.
So people confuse ADD with ADHD. Attention deficit hyperactive is like me. I don't know if you've watched the show very frequently, but I get off track. And I'm just so hyper about this subject.
You think you're worse than you are.
And then we come over here. It's because it's also in my brain. It's not like I might not just be saying it, but it's also going on in here. And then at the same time, like I'm thinking about what TikToks I could be filming or what I got to do tomorrow or what I did today or who's reading the comments or like it just happens to have so many things going on. But ADD is you just can't focus. Whereas like you're trying to do something and like you said, the neurological block where you're trying to do something, but something is just stopping you. And you just have to take that moment and go do something to come back to it. That's how I've seen people work with ADD. They just take a break from it and come back. But with me, I literally have to force myself to finish it or I won't. Because I go so many different ways, I will forget that I started this. And I've had to learn. So I've been on medication, and medication just makes me like a bump on a log. And it makes me normal, and I don't like it. So
even when I write stuff down, it gets rough to try to even remember to look at what I've written down. It's like I forget to do that. Like how? Like, where do where does the remembering happen?
Right?
Yeah, I write stuff all the time.
So we had a quick question from the audience, just bring us back on track here. Do you use the notify feature for inventory updates?
Yes, and I probably would anyway, but also anytime I upload something new, like when you scroll over and it kind of like lights up your notifications, like if you have orders or you need to change something with your order status, it'll just say, hey, you have so many lots in your inventory to notify. So in order to get rid of that little notification, you click on it and notify people. So even if that wasn't the case, it's advantageous to like let people know. But yeah, so I don't know how you end up on those lists though. Like, you have to have a wanted list, and then you like set it to notify you when a random bricklinker has it. I think that's how it works, but I'm not. I just know I send out the notification when it tells me I can.
Yeah, a good way to put it is check his bricklink every day.
Also, Instagram is a little better because you'll also know because I post my hauls usually when like raw, like literally like when I bring them home and they're just usually like people are like, hey, his head's wrong. Like, I know, I just got it. I know, I don't know yet, but I will. But thank you. And so Instagram's a great place because it's kind of like the sneak peek place, and it's easier to watch that flow because I don't post nearly as much as I do on TikTok. So if one block of Instagram is like a week essentially, so you're not looking too far into the past or too current stuff.
Yeah.
So Ethan, you got another question for him?
I can come up.
I'm all for it, guys. We can do the questions part for as long as you want. It's fun.
I have a ton as well, so keep going, guys.
Yeah, we're gonna do like at least 2 rounds of questions.
Yeah.
So when you see like a minifigure with like a cracked torso, what do you usually do with it?
It depends on like, let's say it's like a rare, like an Assange Ventress or something like that. And it's an exclusive torso and it's got cracks in it. Sucks. I'm going to have to sell it with cracks in it and try to adjust, make the price as fair as possible. And then I also judge because sometimes it can have cracks, but that's the only thing wrong with it. And it still looks beautiful. Like, and you can't really see them for the most part. And then also sometimes cracks will cause the arms to be really loose. And then other times cracks don't cause the arms to do any, they don't affect the tightness or looseness of the arms at all. So I kind of sometimes take that, but really it's just, is it a big crack? Is it a small crack? And there's nothing you can do to fix it, like gluing it or filling it. It would just look like trash, in my opinion, if you tried to because any, color matching with Lego is like impossible. You will never get the same exact color for whatever you're filling it with or coloring it over with or whatever it is. So I would just, because people always ask, what do you recommend for them? Honestly, can't do anything. Don't remove your arms. Or when you do, you have to be extremely careful because every time it's just natural wear and tear.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I've learned back in 2015 that Force Awakens wave for some reason was bad. It just you cracked torsos were just no reason.
I think over the years they've changed the inside design because obviously the outside is always stayed the same dimensions. But I think that through the innards have kind of changed up to make it better or stronger.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Also, another question: do you have any Lego regrets, like Sharpie regrets, or maybe accidentally bumped Lego off a shelf? What's your biggest regret?
Ethan's questions come in twos, just so everybody knows.
Okay.
It's like Noah's Ark, 2x2.
2x2. Ethan with the 2x2.
Let me see if I can find it real quick.
You got all the time, my friend.
Zane, you look like you were having fun with the Slave 1.
Oh my god, guys, I'm sorry, but have you guys seen this? Do you guys anyone have a 2000 Slave 1? Look at these wings. No. They're so spinny. It's great. It's perfect when it lands and stuff. It's amazing. This is better than the 2020, at least the wings, leveling
better than the UCS.
But I figure I've been trying to figure this out for 3 days, how to sit here and keep it spinning, and I figured it out. Look at shit. I mean crap. Sorry.
G ready.
All right, maybe Matt. Maybe you can pull it up. Look up set 5956.
I got it.
Brad's got it. Brad's our IT guy.
Yeah. Lego set. What was it again?
5956.
Well, while we're on a brief intermission with them, guys, this is Carbonite Han Solo.
Yeah.
Well, they
I have him from the Jabba's prize set. Yeah.
You don't have the top piece. Where's the top piece?
Yeah,
I have that one. I love. So I okay.
So my Razor Crest ones too.
The next update they need to do is they need to update the figure in the new Carbonite Han with the new hairpiece.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So when I was a kid, I had this set, right?
Oh,
and I traded. See the big blimp part? It has a cap. That back screws off, and then it's a Lego container itself.
Wow.
I traded that to my buddy when I was maybe 7 or 8 for what I don't even remember what I got. I don't even remember. That's how that value. That's how I know I got not ripped off, but how I ripped myself off because I remember what I traded, but not what I got. I gave him that blimp. I don't remember if I gave him anything else from the blimp, but just that set itself is $170 used.
Oh my
on
gosh.
Wow.
Oh
that
my
piece
god.
alone, let's look up the piece real quick. Let me find it in the list.
Wow.
Holy cow.
Just the blimp. Let me see if I can find it. There it is. Light gray container Zeppelin / expedition balloon. Without any stickers, it sells for $71. I traded away a $71 really awesome vintage Lego blimp. That's my biggest childhood regret. I traded that away as a child.
Have they made actual Lego blimps since then?
Nothing even remotely. I mean, they've done Ninjagos. There's a Zeppelin and Ninjago or something similar, like a sky craft of some sort. But otherwise, nothing really like a big hot air balloon or a blimp like that. But yeah,
that's special.
That really is
special.
Do you have any Sharpie regrets? You probably were.
A few. They're mostly on pieces rather than minifigures. But those are non-worry. They were mostly walls we built and we drew flames on them with Sharpie. Classic.
Teeth regrets.
What?
So,
what did you say?
You said Sharpie regrets. I said teeth regrets, like Terrence.
I had dogs, so
those.
An unrelentless mom with a vacuum.
My friend was big into Bionicles growing up, and he had dogs, and the number of pieces that were because Bionicle pieces are dogs love Bionicle pieces for some reason, they're chewed up and stuff. Always bad.
I think it's a smell of ABS to certain dogs. They just love it.
What's really bad is having concrete floors and minifigures and accidentally stepping on them. That's so bad.
Scrapes are the worst.
I have so many minifigures like that where it's useless. I mean, the whole face is just.
That's actually the worst. If I could say, you can tell it's just been dragged across concrete or some rough surface like that, it looks terrible.
So, do you ever have anybody? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
You just want to cut that.
Sorry.
No, it's like growing up. What were like some of your favorite themes growing up? Like I'm big. I loved Exo Force back in the day. Like what were some of the themes that you just loved growing up?
So like before Bionicle was a thing, there was a couple of like sub themes that weren't called Bionicle, but they were major Technic builds that had like either launching discs. There were these like motorcycle ones that had two wheel. They were like that's the only thing I describe as like motorcycles, but they would shoot the wheels off of them but they were Technic parts. And then there was some other Technic stuff that I remember, but mostly it's Adventurers, which is the theme with Johnny Thunder, like from that one set I just showed you. Adventurers, Rock Raiders, and then I was about 7 or 8 when Lego Star Wars became a thing in general. So that's when me and my brother, started. I don't even remember it, but he said we had the original X-Wing, like the one from the swamp.
Wow.
And I barely, because it's one of those things, like it probably got built and broken so quick I don't even remember. And my brother was actually more into Lego Star Wars at the time than I was, so I was still getting Adventurer sets that were jungle. I think they were in jungle by then. They had a couple different sub themes.
Yeah.
But other than that, I liked anything that was those basic like the Lego Adventurers or Rock Raiders, but there wasn't a ton of variety as far as when I was growing up, as nearly as much as there is now. Like it was like you had the couple of major Lego themes that they had in that era, and then you had City. That was about, and then Star Wars at the time. But otherwise, that was before anything franchised.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You said that you're big into Castle now.
Oh, that was another. That was as I got actually kind of forgot.
Okay.
I was more into my teen years actually. Yeah, yes, good question, because that's when Lego Knight's Kingdom became more of a thing. Was mid 2000s, and that's I got what is his name, Vladix. I think it's Vladix Castle. He's like the dark one of the bad guys, but it's a black and dark red castle. It looks beautiful. It's got like these big catapults on it and stuff like that. But that was one of the most memorable sets I had growing up, and then having all those horses, and then just the armor and because the horses came with like the cloth little pieces that would show which faction they were for. And my uncle, I didn't own any of them, but going over to my uncle's house, that's another thing I guess I could iterate on, is the stuff he owned is kind of what I liked, because when I went over to his house, he had all the 80s castle and late 80s and early 90s castle in space. So if you know what Ice Planet is, that's a sub-space theme. I remember those ones heavily. But that was mostly just going over to my grandmother's house and playing with those when I saw my uncle.
Wow. And it just hit me that you were older than Zane down there, and I keep forgetting that.
And I look younger than Ethan.
Exactly.
Everybody gives me such a hard time. Like everyone was like, "How was the dinosaurs? Are they cool?" I'm sitting here thinking, and you're like, "I was like 7 or 8, early 2000s." I'm like, wait a minute.
I have to tell you, I was born in 1992, December 31st, so almost 1993.
So you're 28. Almost.
Yes, yeah, I'm 28. Yes.
And for everybody at home, I'm 25.
I just so old man thing. Don't worry.
You want the dinosaur stories over here?
Wait, your birthday's on New Year's Eve?
Yes.
Wow.
Oh wow.
It's fun.
We're a decade apart.
That's crazy, dude.
Zane, you had a question that you're gonna ask.
Go for it, Zane.
You forgot.
Okay, guys, we all need to understand this for these moments that
No, we understand.
We understand. It's so fun.
we need to go with it because I forget.
Do you want me to ask a question first, or do you want to wait?
My headphones are.
Whoa, where are they going?
It's in my computer.
They go off this way.
Was that your question?
Guys, it's not always a question, okay? It's just commentary.
Sure.
Okay.
It's okay, guys.
Fun.
They ask all the serious questions. I'll ask the fun questions, okay?
Yes.
Like, this is the fun zone right here. So,
All right.
epically fun. All right. Okay. So, if there was a fire in your house right now,
yes.
it lit a fire, and you could grab one set, not pieces, not parts, not minifigure.
That's a serious question.
Even
That's
if I
not
have the
fun
capability
question.
to grab more.
You didn't even have the capability. You grab it like a football. You tuck and run, dog. You just go. I don't even like football, and that's what you do. Or mine's a Falcon, obviously.
First, you would grab your insurance.
Yeah.
I don't know. It'd be tough because like
See?
I actually have one of my original childhood Rock Raider sets that I would
Nice.
probably grab because that just has sentimental value. It's not even complete.
Yeah.
It's like, but it's the literal pieces from my childhood.
Yeah.
Or it's like, do I go with like the gunship or another large Star Wars set, or just like a base plate full of minifigures count as a set? Because I might like a command right there.
That's one
Like,
thing.
I'm in one base plate.
And that's probably worth more than the gunship right there anyway. So
Yeah, that's worth 3 gunships about.
Either a base plate of minifigures or the gunship. I have to go with the
Okay.
gunship.
Which
What about
gunship?
your mech
It's
mock?
2013.
What about your mock, like mech? That because what I would do, I would grab a mock.
Yeah,
I
you would.
I love my mocks, but I haven't built so many to where I'm like, that's my masterpiece. I would be like, I'll build another mech, I guess.
also, can I just say I'm so thankful you built an Exo Force mock. Like I love Exo Force, and so like when I saw that, I was like, I like this guy.
It was
that's
heavily
awesome.
inspired by, and that was I don't call it the Exo, but it was like literally I had it was the big Exo Force set, the biggest one you could buy, I think, and I had just sold it, and I was like, dude, I love that theme, but I didn't really like the sets. But I love mechs and robots, and just doing with Lego and a mech, you have so much openness to do like creativity wise, because like with mine it's like, I wanted to give them shoulder guns or arm, whatever you want to do you can do, and then you just make it fun.
Do you like Pacific Rim?
The what? Pacific Rim? I've never actually seen that movie.
All right, next question before Zane goes on his high horse here.
If it
Am I
makes you feel
asking-
better, I haven't seen it either.
Ethan, I don't question you about that anymore. You guys don't watch anything I watch ever.
He's gotten on us because we don't watch like Ghostbusters. Like there's a bunch of other older.
None of them have
movies
seen Ghostbusters. Have you seen Ghostbusters?
Oh, of course. Okay, yeah, that like, yeah.
Thank you. Adults are talking
So
here.
Back to
people.
the Future. I know a lot of good 80s and 90s movies. For
Back
sure.
to the Future is one that I love, honestly.
Back to the Future.
All right, dinosaur. Man,
Am I
it's okay.
asking the
Yes.
last question?
Yes, ask away.
Yes,
Sorry.
and I have one quick question I have to ask after that. It was fan
Matt
voted.
gets like 10 questions.
I have 2 very important
Yes,
ones.
go for it.
I'm gonna ask one, and then Brad, you're gonna ask yours, and then I'm
I
gonna.
don't know. I want to ask my
the final.
question last.
Can I please be?
Does it
your
make sense
friend?
to ask last? Okay.
Yeah.
First question.
My hair is. Where is that piece?
Your hair is
Did
beautiful.
not find it. There it
This is
goes.
very, very important. This might be the most important question here. What do you think of stickers?
It depends. Sometimes what I hate is if you're gonna add a sticker, center the freaking sticker
Yes.
on, like sometimes you'll get a sticker and the printing on the sticker is off center. So when you center the sticker, the image is still off center, which makes a conundrum in my head because I'm like, do I want to center the picture or center the sticker? And that's what annoys me. But otherwise, if the sticker is in good centering and quality, my belief is, and the only other downside, I guess the one downside, I guess this is, no matter what, over time, they're probably going to deteriorate, which is the major downside. But other than that, if you can apply it, and I mean like basically perfectly centering, it most of the times doesn't even look like a sticker.
Yeah.
Unless it's like Friends does it a lot. They'll have a giant like flat wall piece, and they'll put one sticker in the middle of it so you can definitely see the outline of like when they put fish on like an aquarium or something like that. That looks a little goofy. But some of them I'm like, I get why they do it, but then sometimes I don't get why, because they'll make other printed pieces that would seem more expensive or less of a point to make a printed piece for certain images.
Yes.
But it's like hit and miss and love and hate, but I see why they do it.
What about like a UCS plaque? Would that be better as a print?
I think anything UCS should be
Yeah.
like prints, to be honest. Even the sticker thing is maybe an exception, because that's like, I don't know, I would almost think like you could get a reproduction of that, of the faceplate sticker at least, and I wouldn't feel bad about having to do that as a collector. But I would feel like if you had to buy like a reproduction of regular stickers, that would feel like cheaper. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think you could feel worse than how Matt feels about stickers.
There are
I'm
custom
just
printing companies, I believe, that
Mhm.
print on real Lego. So, like for the UCS Millennium Falcon, I believe there is like I was talking about the Friends, those big wall pieces, and then you have to put a sticker, like a big giant sticker on it.
Yep.
The
Yeah, I was
only
telling you guys
difference
about
is
that
they
earlier, the
print it
hallway.
on the opposite side of where the sticker is supposed to go, so you have to flip the piece. It doesn't make a difference,
No,
but
okay.
Got it.
I've seen some reproduction. Actually, like they're like, "Hey, why would you buy this UCS side if you didn't get printed pieces?
Yeah. Well, no, that's how I kind of feel about it. And
Why would
like,
you make it essentially?
people
Not
were
give it all
making fun
printed
of-
pieces."
yeah, people were making fun of me. I'm like, if I get the UCS Falcon, I'm not entirely sure that I'm going to put that sticker on
You
the
have
plaque.
to.
You
I
Is
just
it
have-
only one?
No, there's
No,
more
there's
in there, but there
three-
is.
So there's 3 hallway ones inside that for the big square piece of the hall that looks like the hallways, and then there's these circle ones that are on the exterior that look like grates. And there's like
for
all
those
of
for those round pieces that go all over the place.
Yeah, well,
Or
but they're
no?
little ones. Like the big,
Yeah.
the big ones are they're built, but they're these little
Okay.
tiny ones that are
Gotcha.
on there. Well, here I'll just show you.
He just wanted an excuse to go grab the Falcon. Let's be honest.
No, I'm not grabbing the Falcon. Don't even.
Oh, okay.
Ew.
New.
These little things.
Okay.
Let me tell. Let me see if I can get the lighting a little better. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Ooh.
Yeah.
They're like vents or something
Yeah,
like
they're
that.
like little vents that are all over the place.
See, like I was just like, what? How do they not have a piece like that on demand,
Yeah.
ready to
For an
print? Like
8,
it's a vented
It's so
piece.
small.
Considering they have tons of 2x1, tile vents that are out there,
Yep.
they've got lots of variants of those. Why not just make a 2x2 circle?
That's how I
And then
feel.
you mass produce them and you have them for every Millennium Falcon, because you can put those on the microfighters and make it work and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Totally. Okay, do you want me to ask my question, Brad, or do you want to ask
Yes.
yours?
Yes,
Okay.
that's your question.
Okay. So I was looking at this as the last question, but Brad has to go and ruin it. But yeah, I'm not entirely sure, and I don't. For me, at least, I never thought that like this would happen. Like we would be in this call together, all talking with our own audiences and stuff. I never saw myself growing an audience in this way, and it's been a wonderful journey. And I'm sure it's felt the same for you. What is your hope going forward? What keeps you motivated to continue doing what you're doing? And like, what's your long-term goal?
For the content, definitely
Well, all of it. Business, content, everything.
For me, it's almost a little segregated as far as business, because with business, not only do I want it kind of goes hand in hand with the other part, but business, I want to build something. I want to build a business for myself around something that I like that'll be there long after TikTok, long after whatever at the moment is making me like if it's TikTok making money, that might not always be there, but a Bricklink business, if I can build something on that and have that be successful, that'll be there again. That'll be there long after everything's gone, making me money, or maybe it's my full career by then and it's making my full income. But then as far as the content, it's really to build a community, and because one day I'd love to have a physical location with, along with the business, but not just have it be a business. Have you ever heard, I think there's 2 different accounts that I follow. One's Gamers Heaven, and he's kind of like he's got like a video game kind of place where you can come and hang out. And then there's another one, where it's a Dungeons and Dragons kind of hangout shop. And I want to have a community shop close to what one of those game or card shops would be, but oriented around Lego, where you can come in, shop, buy stuff, but also come in and have like community events where you have build offs, or you have, like think about it like a Barnes and Noble. You can just go in there and sit down and read a book. I'd want people to feel welcome to come in, not even have to buy their own Lego set from me. You can go buy it from Walmart, bring it into my shop, and sit down, have a coffee, build your Lego set in a nice, calm, open environment.
Yeah.
That's kind of the goal, is just to eventually give outlets to every Lego fan. And, who knows how big that could get, but I'd love to make it so everybody has like that community, that sense of, oh, it's not just me. It's all of us.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing it together.
There's
found
actually
a
a
good
store
name.
like. Oh, I was gonna say there's actually a store. You gotta go. Go, Ethan.
Hi, people,
Every
stop.
time.
Don't worry about it.
It was a joke. It's kind of ruined now.
I'm sorry. I was gonna say there's actually a store kind of like that out by cool guy Dom. That's like a physical Lego store that you can kind of do that with. So it's definitely a feasible option. You just have to get the product to do it in.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you've got to have a lot of inventory because you have to have inventory that's almost. It sounds silly, but you have to have inventory that's not going to sell because when you look at a store like that, look at all this. Look at all the stuff they have. A lot of it's not. I wouldn't say overpriced, but it's priced to where only people who really want it in them are going to buy it. And because because otherwise with me it's like I feel like if I had all that stuff I'd be selling it, it'd all be flying off my Bricklinks shop. Like it's crazy. So it's in order to get that much stuff it's definitely a process because even with what I have now in my garage I'm already getting to the point where I want more space so I can start kind of expanding that because I want to have a giant brick bin to pick through and all this other stuff for people to have. But that's so long off on the future. But it's, it never hurts to dream in the moment.
Yeah.
Would you keep a bin full of just a giant bin full of just everything? Or would you keep it organized like you have behind you?
In a store setting? That would be mixed. Because the way, if I were to have a store, it would be anything I'm already doing with Bricklink. So that would just be inside the store now. So you could still order online, pick up in shop, or people from out of that don't want to come into the shop could still order from what's on my Bricklink shop. But then I would also offer probably a bulk section where if you've ever been to a bricks and minifigs shop, literally the basics. You've got your pick of whatever here. You've maybe got some random minifigs here with your franchised minifigs there, and then some complete or used sets, but also. I might think about doing that where, like you said, would I have it organized? I wouldn't have it so part by part, but I would definitely think about not only having a, just a huge bulk grab all bin, but it would be cool to have a section of the store that was a little bit more organized, but it wasn't so Bricklink or, like an in-between between bulk and brick. That's the perfect, I guess, kind of the way to think about it is so that you're not buying piece by piece, but you're also not looking through a sea of endless hopelessness of you're looking for maybe a couple of specific pieces. Or another great thing is colored, just doing it colors because some people if they're doing a mock, some people like to just start, especially like me. Sometimes I don't even like to start with an idea. I just build, and then if it looks cool, you just go with it.
Yeah, that's how I've always built. Is I sort.
Oh, are we losing him?
No, he's gone.
A couple of weeks ago, I finally got down and just sorted everything. But before, I just had most of my parts was just in a pile. It's just random, and that's how a lot of mocks started. Was just random parts, which is different. It's you have to sort with your style, and that's something that's important.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right,
I mean,
so
Bricks and Minifigs do a mock building, not mock, stop motion thing. I'm working with my local Bricks and Minifigs to do a collaboration and stuff, and they do these stop motion things with kids where they come in and they do they learn stop motions and then they just kind of put it all back into a bin.
Cool. So, that's the other thing I was actually because I've actually put a lot of thought into what would I offer people? What would give you incentive to come into a Lego store other than, looking and playing with, then I would talk about what if we had a stop motion studio where a whole room dedicated where no windows, no nothing. So that way, if you were looking to get your feet wet and really wanted to do stop motion, but didn't have this, let's say you live in a small apartment, you got siblings, you can't, whatever it is, you're young and you don't got the room, you don't got the space, you don't got the time, you don't got the investment, but you can come into this studio, pay $10-15 an hour, whatever it is to just come in and have all this professional equipment set up for you. And then at the end of the day, take that clip home and post it on your personal YouTube.
Yep.
I think that would be good.
That'd be awesome.
Also, this was kind of something that we were talking about a long time ago on was it a live stream? But you could bring in your parts and so they sort it for you. That would be pretty cool.
That would be expensive. I'm just telling you. You'd be like, do I want to spend 20 hours sorting or do I want to spend 20 hours working at my job to pay for the sorting?
Yeah. It's for the people who are willing to pay.
I've thought of that too, is not necessarily just sorting, but also, hey, you've probably got a lot of sets that you've lost to the bin. I'll revive them from the bin for you. Not just sorting them, but I'll get your sets back. But that's going to the time investment is I'm basically going to be charging you the price to just rebuy that set because if you think about it, if every set takes a good if you've got, and the bigger the collection, the longer it's going to take.
Yeah.
And one of the first things I made major money off of was this $45 offer up buy that I got. I got 3 bins that this dude sold me in. It had, I want to say, the entire early 90s.
Wow.
Just every not every space set, but they had every Ice Planet set.
Oh my god.
About 5 M-Tron sets and about 32 space sets total that I revived out of that bin. But it took me a good like 40 to 60 hours to do it. But I mean, maybe it was still worth it because I sold all of them for well over $1,000. And I still to this day have the still bins up in my other room with sets yet to revive out of there because I only did the space ones and I kind of lost interest and I made money off of it and I was like, I'll go on to more stuff. But I actually still have I'm keeping it, but I sorted it out. But I have I think it's like $200. It's a castle set. And it's that one, but I did a TikTok on it, one with the big base plate, that big green base plate.
Oh, yeah.
It's the castle that goes to that base plate. And that came out of that haul. And then there's still like at least 4 or 5 other castle sets in that. So it's just like it takes a lot of time, but I would say if you're one of those people like, oh, I got all these sets lost to the bin, just do it. Start by sorting by color.
Yeah.
Because
when
you go through a parts list on whether it's on Bricklink or in the back of your instructions booklet, it's going to be organized by color. So the best thing is actually in that case when you're sorting is to sort by color. So then when you go through that inventory list and you're going through all the black, you put the black pile of pieces in front of you and then you just, okay, I need these. And then you're sorting through each individual color at a time.
That's where you can just like hire people to do the sorting part.
I'm actually getting to that point actually where, obviously I could do it, but how would I do anything else? So I'm going to be, because used parts are huge. People want sets, parts that aren't necessarily produced anymore or are in a color that's not produced anymore for a set that's not produced anymore. Yep. So getting into used parts, it's way harder to sort too. Well, it depends. If it's a used version of a part that you could buy new now, then it will be cheaper. But if it's a used part that they haven't produced in a good 10 years, then it's obviously, it is what it is. The value is what it is.
Yeah.
Groovy.
Brad?
So I had one last question that was asked a lot by fans and by other creators to ask you, and that is, what is your favorite food?
My favorite food.
That's what he's ending with?
Cheeseburgers. No, it's basic, but it's just cheeseburgers.
I get but the question was, why isn't it spaghetti and meatballs?
Oh, so it was a baited question.
Did we just ruin this for everybody?
Was that a dad joke? Is that what?
No,
Brad
it's
joke.
beyond that.
No,
It's a Brad being Brad joke.
It's a Brad
Archer got me super good.
No, did you ever hear how that started? So honestly, me and Pato on Archer, I don't want to touch on a few other creators on our call. And we're playing Among Us, and we're like, we should hop in this because we're playing with like some fans as Epik Bricks as a joke. And then people just kept making the most ridiculous catchphrases for you. And then John was like, all right, we got to make him say this. We got to make him say this in a video. And so like for a day straight, we just planned on how to try to get you say it in a video.
Well, the thing that made me say it is that he talked about it as if it was my catchphrase. And if I had, and I started thinking, he's like, way back in his lives, like a long time ago. And I was like, I did do a few lives back in the day.
A long time ago, a year ago.
In my brain, when I can't remember what happened yesterday, that is a long ass time ago. I was like, you know what? Maybe I did say spaghetti and meatball. Because I'm goofy like that. Sometimes I'd be like, if somebody at the end of the stream was just like, hey, meatball sounds like something I might just say to say. And I like went with it and he incepted me successfully.
What Brad did to me is he made the real Lego Man Pro look bad, so I was like, I have to change my name.
Wait, what?
No, it's a joke. It's a joke.
Oh, okay. I did say Bad's name was actually Dave as a joke for a bit, just to mess with it. It was during a live stream. People, because it was a time period where I was like, yeah, my real name's not Brad, and they're like, everyone's like asking me what it is, and I was like, I mean, it's not Dave like Matt's real name.
Did you ever tell them what your real name was?
No, they haven't gotten me that.
Okay, well, I still have blackmail, so be careful.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I also wanted to go into a surprise segment really quick, because I know there is some more things that we need to discuss.
Yes.
If we could all agree on one set because we have Mr. Lego Investor himself up here. One set for people to invest in right now that's on the market. What would it be?
UCS Falcon.
We have to
So
all be
on
in
the market-
agreement on it. We have to
left
all be
out,
in
sorry.
agreement on it.
Oh, look at that. He's got a look at that.
Dang it, one second, I was up there.
Yeah.
I felt left out. Flying, you were flying.
He's flying solo.
Honestly,
Oh.
to me, this is like there's two different sets I'd say, but one of them is a collection. I would say get all the different Hogwarts Castle pieces that go together because I do, they're like worth 500 right now, but I feel like in the future that's something people are going to want to get all of them together and are willing to put a couple $1,000s just to get them all in together. But
consolidated lots are great. It's the same thing with like why kind of people buy minifigures from me. It's not that they're just coming for one. It's that they can buy a number of them or a collection of them without having to go to multiple sources or pay multiple fees or risk multiple eBay sellers sending them junk. Whereas, like you said, if you have the full thing, someone's definitely gonna be like, oh, well, that saves me time, sweat, and
shipping,
trying to get it all. Exactly. So that's not bad.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then besides that, personally for me, I mean, I would say Barracuda Bay. Who knows the next time we're going to actually get a pirate ship? So just pirate.
I have thought of two. Okay, so one is the Millennium Falcon because it's big. It's probably about to retire in the next year.
Probably tomorrow.
I feel like
Matt can't
it's
get
going to shoot up. Which Matt, you need to get.
Yeah, but is that going to be around in a year? I think it will. But I'm not ready to. I'm not ready to risk that. So I'm.
What will happen?
I'm on the case.
It'll be all of a sudden like Another one is you can't get this one anymore because it was hard to get. But the Bespin dual set, that was that was a difficult one to get. Which I wish I would have got two of them to keep sealed.
Yes.
I actually got a second one of those.
Ooh, okay. I have three
this
now.
This close.
I have three now. Okay.
I got none of the Nebulons though, unfortunately.
Yeah.
With all the drama that's going on with the Mandalorian, that ATST Raider is probably.
I think that's like the given. That should be the given one because I was going to say that one, but I think if like half of us would probably say that one, it's like especially they might. What's funny is what. It might backfire on everybody because that minifigure is so indistinguishable. Any woman can be that Cara Dune. In turn, they never have to change that minifigure. They just keep Cara Dune how she's always looked, and nothing changes. So it could
honestly
That's
backfire.
what I think.
We were talking about that because we were talking about the whole situation, kind of like with that minifigure and stuff. And I was like, I'm waiting for all those people to buy up like 10, 20 of them. Just like they just have that sitting in the garage now. Like they just can't do anything with it because it's just.
I have two of them extra, and I think that's great. Like that's a good kind of investment for any Lego set that you think is going to do well. But I mean, for that one, it's definitely worth trying. Don't go crazy, like you said. Don't fill up your garage, but definitely 2 to 5 to 10.
I do think though that any Mandalorian set right now, because of like people regretting buying Clone Wars sets, buy extra Mandalorian sets like Trouble on Tatooine, the Razor Crest, because people are going to want those. Yes, people like the Razor Crest isn't a ship anymore, quote unquote, but people like still want that ship. It was such an iconic ship and they want it. So any Mandalorian set's a really great investment right now.
I could go with that. I could go along with the Mandalorian stuff.
I would agree. I would agree totally. I mean, other than Mr. Cool Guy Dom's entire collection of 501st Battle Packs, but
I mean his collection of Slave Ones, but
yeah. I don't know if that will actually go up in the long term, but I think Mandalorian will increase. My only thing with the Cara Dune minifigure too is that if Lego does decide to put her in the light cruiser, that will take away any exclusivity that she had from the ATST Raider.
We might get her in a different uniform though, but also what happened with the Razor Crest where we didn't actually get an updated Mando, I don't know if it's going to happen.
Yeah.
But I do think that the set's coming out late enough after the show that it might be able to happen, but I don't know because the show did just end, so I don't.
Got it.
So
it's all
what
up
was
there.
that, Matt?
What?
What are we talking about?
Mr. 27 501st Battle Packs.
I guess, what do we think about like the 501st Battle Pack? You think that's resale? I mean, there's so many of them. I
know because they've continued to. You've noticed they're restocking them at Walmart's even still. Every once in a while, I'll see 5 more pop up at every location because I go to like at least 4, 5, 6 different Walmarts in my area on about every couple of days, so I'm keeping updated on like clearances. But those are like I've always noticed like, oh, there's a couple more, and then same with Target, they're on the shelves. So I think those ones were not intentionally, but like they were overproduced because they knew they were going to be popular. So
And they still are.
that's just going to put them off longer. They will be popular, but not in 10 years, maybe in 20 years.
Yeah.
Whereas like stuff right now that's like super valuable, it came out 10 years ago. But that's like it was overhyped, and maybe proportionally hyped. Maybe it was right at the right level it needed to be. Yeah. But either way, you're right. It's just too much. What I would say is now that they haven't continued down the line of Clone Wars sets, because I don't think they're doing any more Clone Wars sets from that season. Right? That was just kind of a one-off.
We're technically getting a couple set. At least one set is 2 sets actually is rumored from the season 7 Mandalorian arc for the summer.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're doing the duel, right?
The duel and the Mandalorian Starfighter.
Yep.
Okay.
Martez sisters.
Okay, so either way, because here's where I guess if you want to hear which one, because I have one solid one, and I would say the what is it called? Armored Assault Tank. That's all it's called. The new one with the Ahsoka and the Ahsoka Trooper, because that's the only set the Ahsoka Trooper comes in. That's the only set that specific Ahsoka comes in. Otherwise, there's other versions. And then it also comes with the Kashyyyk Troopers, our battle droids, which are not exclusive, but they only do come in 3 other sets right now. So set, if they, and I don't think they will, in those other 2 Clone Wars sets that you mentioned, I don't think a 332nd Company Clone Trooper will fall into either of them. So this may very well be the last time and only time that they make a Ahsoka Clone Trooper. And if you ever notice, it's always the figures like that they kind of slip on it, like they're usually characters that nobody cares about until they're gone. Yep. Until they're unavailable.
But people do care about those right now, though.
That's the other thing. That's another thing that helps it. But like, if you think about some characters, like that other figure, like I put on my minifigure highlight, Zam Wessel, the changeling from episode 1.
Beautiful figure, but
only ever made it once. So like, but at the time, it wasn't probably like, oh my god, that's the coolest character in the Star Wars universe. But now looking back on the nostalgia, that's like, oh, that would be such a cool character to have. You know what I mean?
And all honestly, if they remade that figure,
changes. You got to think about how a character is going to change in people's perception over years. And it's also like, some themes in general, like unpopular themes in general, sometimes are just worth more, like monster fighters. I don't think that was the most popular when it was out, but now it's a little more popular and a little more sought after. So you got to kind of like think about like, what are people overlooking at the current moment?
Yeah.
And is there any themes outside of Star Wars? Because we all know Star Wars is like, the #1 for sellers. If you want to sell anything, you get into Star Wars for Lego. Is there any themes out of that right now that you would recommend investing in, kind of?
I think Marvel DC is the next obvious one. Because that's I think someone asked about like which ones you get asked about most, and that's obviously Star Wars. And then the next runner-up would be Marvel DC, or just superheroes in general. I think it's pretty much a tie between what people ask about. And then I think third, if we could squeeze anything in there, it's like first place Star Wars, second place superheroes, and then third place, barely even on the graph, is like Jurassic World. People like dinosaurs.
Really?
Dinosaurs is pretty popular.
What about just because of dinosaurs, not because of the figures?
Yeah. People, I think people usually refer to it as Jurassic. They like the Jurassic World sets, but dinosaurs is, and that's another thing now. Is I think people are sleeping on. Give Jurassic World another 10 years. What if they're not produced? What if they're not making movies anymore? That's kind of died out, but people still want dinosaurs. People are always kids always love dinosaurs, and kids always love Lego. So you put those two together. 10 years down the line, when they're not making any of these velociraptors or whatever raptor, the dinosaur, whatever it calls it, they're not going to be available anymore. Indominus Rex. There you go. Someone who's watched the first movie more than once.
What about you say Ninjago? Like yeah, I was gonna say.
Ninjago. I kind of totally forgot. So Ninjago is actually probably even I'd say that's a tie, if not beating superheroes. Then actually,
where does Harry Potter live in that as well?
Probably in between the superheroes and the third thing I said that I can't remember. My brain is wandering. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, and I don't think Harry Potter figures are as more sought after as the sets themselves, but I do think they have a good selling point with what they do.
Harry Potter is almost more current too. They've produced a lot more Harry Potter content in the last 10 years than they did the 10 years before that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, going on to our next segment, do we want to talk some Lego leaks and rumors? Or upcoming sets, all that stuff? Brad, take it away.
Yeah, so we have had since last Buds, guys, we did talk about what is happening with the new Marvel sets, where we're getting Marvel sets from the older movies, which is really cool. We're also getting some new Star Wars stuff. One big thing though that we didn't even know was happening. I mean, we kind of knew was happening, but we just got confirmation of it. Was this bad boy right here, the NASA Space Shuttle Discovery?
Heck yeah.
It's honestly, we've had a sort of sets like this in the past. We've had spaceships in the past, like current spaceships. And this just
The telescope goes inside, right?
Yeah. Let's see, we got images of that right here.
Whoa.
I think this thing is way bigger than we think it is.
I hope so.
Dimensions right here: height 9 inches, width 14 inches, depth 22 inches. So that's almost 2 feet long right there.
That's pretty crazy.
I mean, I'm just trying to think of what a foot is. Like this is about what a foot is. Just imagine
I
Wait,
think I
wait,
might
wait.
buy this and build Bender.
Read those dimensions again.
9 inches for height, 14
Height.
inches for width, and 22 dimensions for depth.
So
Sorry.
14 inches is
Wide is the wing to wing, tip to tip.
Yeah.
And then the height
So
is
that's about
I didn't
foot
bother
long.
that tip. Jeez.
Yep.
And I want to say, wait,
The
me
depth
see
is
if
from
I
the
can
nose to the thrusters.
I'm
Okay,
trying to
that's
think. Barracuda Bay, I want to say was at least. I want to say at least maybe like 18 inches long. I could look that up right now, but
And that's an entire island.
yeah. I mean, I'm just the ship's part of itself. So like that's huge.
Okay.
and
So
these NASA sets look so elegant as well
Oh,
on the
yeah.
shelf
Yeah.
display. Yes.
And my thing with vehicles, I love studless vehicles. That's
and that's
Well,
very well done.
What do you think
so.
about the stickers then, Matt? Because I'm pretty sure those reflectors on the satellite
It's a
are.
miss. It's a big miss for me, but
Even the
Yeah,
reflectors?
Yeah.
yeah. I hate to say it, but
Well,
see,
Yeah,
every
those-
sticker I look at, I just say, why wasn't it printed?
can we just say though that they didn't go the cheap route with stickers on this one? They actually got
Those look like banners actually.
Yeah, they are. And that's what I was gonna say. Is like they're actual banners. They're not stickers. Like, and I think props to Lego for actually doing that.
Okay, yeah, they're on it's on like a frame. I see.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
But there's like arms that can come out. There's actual cockpits.
Wheels,
There's-
landing gear.
Yeah, this is the
Why is
whole
there
nine
no
yards.
orange? Why is there no orange studs on the thrusters? Nothing. I need immersion.
Oh yeah,
That
there's
badonkadonk is not telling the story.
There's a couple of those 2x2 transparent oranges.
yeah, I know.
They
Like,
had to
even
save
some-
money somewhere.
Where's the hyperdrive?
we got we got this next to a person here. Wow, just that like the satellite itself looks actually really big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I just found out what I want to do when I grow up. I want to be a Lego model.
Same.
I was
Same.
thinking that the other day. I saw the new sets that we're going to talk about here in a second, the Star Wars ones. And I saw a guy. I'm like, I want to be him.
Yeah.
so quick question. What are we thinking about this? Like any quick thoughts?
$200.
I like
Is
it
it
a lot because
swooshable?
it actually reminds me. I actually had like a very old I don't know if it was Lego City, but it was like a shuttle launch.
Yeah.
And I actually have the piece somewhere. It's an electronic battery piece where you click it and it's like engines going off basically. It's horrendous the way it actually sounds. But I actually have an old school space shuttle set, so it reminds
That's
me a lot of
awesome.
that. I think it probably is modeled after that one, or that was modeled off of this original ship.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Quick thing though, Matt. You said $200. This is 2,354 pieces.
I
About
think it's worth
I say Barracuda Bay just because that's the only reference I have, but that's
Yeah.
about the same amount in pieces as Barracuda Bay.
That's
So
more pieces than the Tantu.
Where's the
Yeah.
minifigures?
I mean, you're gonna have to buy the current space sets that go have minifigures right now.
I think for collectors of the NASA series, like all of these sets that
Fazoom.
have come out, yeah. I think this will fit in their collection, but for me, it's not for me.
Oh yeah, and I'm not saying that this is for us. Like I'm just saying
Yeah,
though, that
no.
this
course, just
this
putting it
is
out
still like
I'll buy it.
very awesome. Like I personally wouldn't get. I was a huge fan of space growing up. Like anything space, I loved Mars Mission. There were so many other. Honestly, if I like 5 years ago, 10 years ago, I would have loved this set.
Yeah.
Like in all honesty, but
If Lego gave it to me for free to review, I would be very happy.
Yeah. Come on, Lego.
I mean, even if I was able to get for like $50, I would buy this. Like it's
Oh,
an
yeah.
amazing set. Like I for what I want to buy, it's not really my.
Yeah.
my
I think they should have at least came with one of these. At
I
least
agree.
one
I agree with
astronaut.
Highly agree.
There's a $10 city set you can pick up that has one of those if you want
But this
that
is
minifigure.
the NASA one. This is from the lunar lander. I mean, it's
True.
NASA. And then
Mhm.
The real
Epic.
moon landing.
Any thoughts on this?
I
It's
want it. I'll
swooshable.
buy it.
Look, it looks sleek. It looks like I can hold it. It
It's a
doesn't fall
display
apart.
only. So it's a a highly
Yeah.
you display it. You don't
Yeah.
remock it. You don't do anything.
Yeah.
You don't mod it. You don't.
You
It's,
can't play with it. You can. Looks like you can play with it.
I think you can get one hand and fly
Yeah.
around your house.
Just think of a slow motion
Well, I
With
wonder,
the-
like, go ahead.
with like on a windy day with the grass, just slow motion. Me holding it.
It would look good if you suspended it for sure. Like if
Oh,
you had
yeah,
a display
yeah.
where you just
It might be too heavy to suspend though. Does it say how heavy it is?
usually sets like that aren't very good for only holding on
Yeah.
2 points because you'd have to have like full support from underneath.
Yeah.
It gives me a reason to work out if it's heavy.
Okay.
So quickly moving on to what came out next. So we
What
talked about the
these
Darth
space
Vader.
ones? Whoa, did I lag out just now?
Yes.
Yeah, terribly. You're
Oh.
good. What?
I
Finish
was-
your thought. What
Sorry,
were
no.
you saying?
What I was saying is like with these type of sets, kind of like the Saturn V and this and everything like that, they're a lot more playable than you think.
Yeah.
Like like this, for example, like it comes apart, but there is a built-in thruster underneath it, and everything. Like it's intentional, like how it lands, and then how it takes back off to go
Yeah.
to the space shuttle and everything like that.
They try to keep on top of like the different parts
Yeah.
of how a spaceship's supposed to work. Like
Exactly.
And that's Lego being Lego. It's telling that
Yeah.
story and being able to take it apart and have some sort of play value and display ability. If you wanted
Yeah.
to put it in a different fashion. But that's
Have you
It's
guys-
like
that's
it's
a
two
living
different
piece.
worlds of Lego model building. Who's building a display, something that's just for display or a functional. Like it looks
Yeah.
cool on the outside, but the inside isn't just bare bones, and that's really tough to do, is to bring something together that does both of those things, that looks
100%.
good, but also when you look inside it, one, fits minifigures, two, makes some sort of proportional sense, at least, relative to Lego terms. And just like you were saying, like with that set, like how do you make it look that good on the outside, but then on the inside, you could still have all those little doors and things
Yeah.
that are
Yeah.
accessible.
Like even the landing pad like area for it is all built in craters and everything like that.
Mhm.
I mean, I don't know. I love these sets. I really do.
Yeah. That's one that I was really looking at. Like that one looks really good.
I'm just to say, go off what he said. I mean, that's what I love the blacksmith so much is they're able to keep the outside looking nice, but also the inside. So, but I can't show pictures of the next one because I don't think they've been put onto Lego website yet, and I don't want the show taken down.
No.
But guys, we got
It's
the
fine.
Darth.
It's Matt.
Yeah, we got.
Hey.
We got actual photos of the Darth Vader's helmet for the stub and the Scout Troopers. Guys, any thoughts on those?
Well, okay. So on Lego's Instagram,
The probe wasn't
Oh.
really, that one, that was that picture included.
Let me quickly
It's
double
not
check.
on Lego's Instagram. It's teased on Lego's Instagram.
but if they're
So they have
teasing
it blacked out. They have it
I-
blacked out.
I don't want to risk it. Still,
I don't wanna
'cause
risk
until- Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we don't show it, but we can only say that that's probably the one I want the most, even though it's not a bust. I don't know what it is about that probe. It's like
Oh,
the
yeah,
most, because that's my favorite movie is Empire Strikes Back, and then that probe just so iconic.
what? Yes.
Yes, Empire.
It's my second
Empire.
favorite.
Empire.
Can't
all
get
the
over
way.
the Hoth battle. Hoth battle is
What?
unbelievable.
Oh
Hoth
my
is
God.
awesome. Hoth is awesome. I can
Okay,
agree
the
with
old
that.
guys are talking. No, I'm joking.
Did we just become best friends?
But I do think out of the probe is one of the most unique out of those.
I think.
Yeah, I
so.
would say.
Yeah.
Well, it's more in line with the BB-8 or the DO that came out
Mhm.
I think
last
it's better,
year.
though.
Or 2
One
years
question: it isn't black, and the color of probe droids are black. Do you guys have a problem with them change it to dark gray?
No. Nope.
No, nothing is truly
Okay.
blak in the world.
Okay.
Like,
No, I'm curious. I just want to know your guys' thoughts on that. Like, there are some people. It's like, well, it's not black, so I'm not going to get it because it's not true to like the original content. Like,
Turn your light out.
I do
Go
think
play
it
with
looks
some snow.
very good though.
I like the snow. I like the way the plaque
Yeah.
looks and the way they
Yes.
integrated it, even though it's a sticker. I like the way that they put the snow around it, almost like it's
Yeah.
blended in with
Mhm.
the environment. I think that's the way to go for
Yeah.
a display like that.
The only
I
problem
don't want
is
to touch
the-
says it was revealed on Walmart's website.
Yes,
Was
no,
that a
it was-
leak or a
It
reveal?
was
Yeah.
a leak from Walmart's website.
But if
So-
Walmart's leaking it and sharing it,
No, because
Dang
the
it.
way it works.
Everyone knows what we're talking
Zane,
about.
next week
Zane,
we'll actually pull up.
Settle down.
We'll pull up stuff for that.
This is why I was
Um,
never into leaks because I'm like, I'll know about it when someone tells me.
Everybody's seen it anyway,
Yeah.
so it's not
We
like
don't want to pull a brick show. Rest in peace.
Yeah.
All
Well, it's okay.
right,
So like,
Oh.
Epic, like we always like talking about leaks because it's fun to talk about. It's fun to figure
yeah,
out what's going to
absolutely.
happen. But we don't like showing photos because past shows of people have gotten
Well, yeah,
like
there's
kicked off
plenty
by
of
Lego.
I've seen over the years like that. It's a hot topic. Like obviously
Yeah,
everyone wants to
sure.
know as soon as they can, but then everyone's like risking, their own channels to
Yeah.
do
Yeah.
it. So it's not
Yeah.
worth it.
and people who do it from Lego, their livelihood and job. Like I can't
Oh,
believe
yeah.
how many
Yeah.
people have actually leaked things from
Like
the
they're
company.
going to tell us anyway. Finding
Yeah.
out
Yeah.
sooner doesn't make you any more or less likely to buy it. It just
Yeah.
lets you know if you're going to buy it sooner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm fine with showing them as long as it's not my channel.
Hey,
But yeah,
hey now.
going back to topic, Zane, Darth Vader fan here. What'd you think of that
Yeah.
Darth Vader's bust?
I will buy it day one. It'll be the first set I have ever bought day one.
Are you gonna stay? Are you gonna like get to Lego
Oh.
store early,
I'm
like
gonna
before
stay up-
they're even open?
I will probably buy 2 of them.
So I'm going to stay up till midnight to buy it online to make sure I have it, and then I will go to the store early and be there first in line. I will call in sick on work that day. I don't give a shit. I will be there and I will get it. I don't know if you know this, Epic, but Darth Vader is like my all-time favorite. Like I have his helmet there, his lightsaber.
I was able to
the
get him
artwork-
Darth Vader's transformation.
Darth
Like,
Vader's transformation. I've got like 5 Darth Vaders now.
Yeah.
He is
Might as well
amazing.
make it 3. Like one to keep sealed, one to display, and one for just in case.
Just in case. So, I
and
will get
then
it.
honestly, Scout Trooper, I'm eyeing that very closely because I am a big Scout Trooper fan. I love the figure of the Scout Trooper. I love the minifigure we got with the Razor Crest. Honestly, it's clean, it's slick. The
I
only other
think-
one besides that was the Boba Fett.
I think the curves of that helmet are perfectly accentuated. My only
Yes.
problem with the Darth Vader one, 2 words, squinty eyes.
Oh,
Squinty
that's
eyes.
easy. See, I just remembered one problem I do have with it. Is that really that squinty? I didn't even think about it.
I'm pulling
From
up
what
an
I'm
image of it
remembering,
right now.
from what I'm remembering,
Maybe the picture that they did to take a picture of Darth Vader, maybe it had a flash and it like made it.
well, his helmet has so many different folds and curves to it, and just the right places that it makes it very hard to build out of Lego.
Well, my issue
Yeah.
with it is there's so many pieces in Lego. I think that they could have done it smooth.
Yeah.
I definitely think they could have done it smooth because I mean I get Boba Fett's helmet. Actually, it's at my office. I don't have it here, but I mean those other ones look good with the studs. But when I think of Vader, I think of the shiny black
Mhm.
helmet. I mean, obviously
Yeah.
Boba Fett's is dinged up and bent and scratched and everything like that. But I just think they could have done smooth plates
Yeah.
on it.
But
And
you
that's
gotta
how I
remember,
kind of feel.
You gotta remember it's Lego, and you don't want to make
Yeah.
it. You want to keep the Lego aesthetic,
But when I look at that Scout Trooper, I also think like that's a really cool model, but it has a balance with feeling more Lego like.
Yes,
Mhm.
because it does have the smooth parts in there. So
If
Do
I
we
had
have
to
a
pick,
price?
You
it's a
think they
lot.
should have done Lego part 30208 for his eyes?
just covered that
yes,
thing.
exactly. What you're
Because that
Um,
I don't know if you know which one it is. It's like from what I remember from was insectoids, and it's basically this dome with a lot of hexagonal like shapes on it, and it makes a dome, but it would just make Darth Vader look like he had bug eyes.
That's the disco ball piece for those of you who are
Yes.
counting.
Yes, yes.
That would be very interesting. If
Um,
look, the next one that I want them to make is Kylo Ren's with the red in it from the Rise of Skywalker.
Yes.
I think
I've
that
seen a
would
model
be
of that.
really
Yeah,
cool.
That's gonna be tough.
And then a couple quick little things that I saw here that really interest me. I'll talk about those when we get more information. But there is supposed to be a Hogwarts chess set. That's gonna be $250.
That looks
$250.
That
yeah.
sounds legit.
But I'm like, that's gonna be huge. Like, I can't tell if it's gonna be like a scene from the movie with like the chess. Like,
The board is clearly going to be brick built, whereas
Yes.
in other chess sets, in like Lego chess sets, I think the boards have been molds. I think,
yeah, I think you're right.
or plates
way.
where they kind of build up on it. Where,
Yeah.
as I imagine a Harry Potter one, they don't like probably all brick built.
And then the figure, like I wouldn't be surprised if we get like 3 unique figures with that too. Like I mean not unique figures, but like a Harry, Ron, and Hermione from the theme, just like kind of display with it. And then they're just like massive brick built chess pieces. And honestly, that's just awesome. That
how do
really
you
is.
think they will Harry Potter theme it with the 2 sides that are opposing each other? You know what I'm
I
saying?
don't
They'll just make it from the movie. Like
honestly,
as
that's
accurate as they can from the chess scene in the first movie.
Oh,
they
I
need
wasn't
to.
even thinking that. But
Yeah,
yes,
Ron
you're
and Harry,
completely
right?
right.
Yeah.
4-player chess have 4 different sides of each thing.
That's what I was kind of thinking. In all
Yeah.
honesty, I thought it was more Harry Potter themed and not exactly the chess set from the
Oh,
films.
that's
But
I
see
haven't
where you're
seen
coming
anything,
from.
but that's what I imagine when I hear if they were to make a
Oh.
Harry Potter set. I would assume
yeah.
it would be majorly based on
yes,
the
First
movie,
movie.
but
which
maybe
makes more sense.
I have, but I have no idea. It's the first I'm hearing about it.
Yeah, and then also we're getting a buildable forks, which is awesome that because they did the owl this past time. We're getting the forks, which is gonna be an awesome looking build. It's super colorful. Like it's definitely gonna be an interesting one to pick up here in future. There's a bunch of other rumors, but until we get more information, just check back in on Stud Buddies, guys. We'll let you know about any more rumors that are coming up. Star Wars, anything. But there's some really cool stuff coming up in here in the future. And with April 1st coming up, don't worry, I'll let you guys know what gift with purchase we'll get when we.
Brad's
when we
become
see
the
more
gift with
information.
purchase guy.
Yes, I love gift with purchases. I'm all about like setting when I buy Lego to coincide with those, and how many gift with purchases you can get at a time. So it's become my new thing.
It's also
But
a good
also,
way to make your money back if you're trying to, basically
Yes.
you take your VIP
Yes.
points, you incorporate that into how much you're saving on your next purchase, minus
Yep.
how much you sold that for. It's great.
Has anybody had any problems with their VIP points lately? I mean, does anyone?
No.
Because I've
I don't
tried
spend it too
logging
often.
mine to redeem my points, and every time it's like accept the new terms and conditions. Every time I do, it's like error occurred. It's happened to me every single time for like
Go
2
into your
months.
Lego store and ask them to redeem your points for you, because they will. And if they tell you they won't, they will. I talk to their man because their manager, like every time I go into my store, they're willing to do it for me. It's a new thing that they incorporate into their system, and they'll do it.
Are all the coins sold out?
I
didn't
Last
get
I
my
checked,
coins.
I didn't. I think they if you don't even see them, I think that I haven't seen them lately.
Yeah.
Ever since they did the change, they did like a change, because I remember like I had like several years ago on the receipt it would see how much I've spent. And that was really cool to look at. And I remember like it was a long time. I got to like $1,000, which was years of like buying from the Lego store. I was like, yes, but then they did the change where it like I forget. I haven't even really messed with it the last couple of years. I've been saving, so
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it doesn't show how much I've spent, which I guess that's a good thing.
Yeah, you might not want to know that number.
I do, but yeah. So to all the people watching, if you want more information about leaks and stuff like that, come to us. We are the Stud Buds, and we'll talk about them.
And there is a channel in the Discord server, the Stud Buds Discord server, and yeah.
Yeah, check out the
all right.
Discord.
Yes. So that's our little advertising portion there. So
Do we want to
guys,
head on to the tier list?
yes, I'm pulling up everything for that, guys.
Awesome.
Because of our very special guest on this very special episode of Epic Stud Buds. Why isn't it loading? Oh, don't do
Epic
this to
Stud
me
Bud
right now.
special,
There you go.
spectacular.
We
Alright.
can have like confetti.
Yeah, we need to make trailers for each section. Like we all sing like
Honestly,
I'm working on it. I'm working on it.
Epic.
yeah,
So
like the Brady Bunch little thing. Like we are the Stud Buds.
So guys, we have Rock Raiders, one of Epic Bricks' favorite themes growing up. I got that information from from him before the show. I was actually thinking that. I was like, I want to double check with him. But
F.
yeah,
I
I
have a
think
couple
just
sets here. I had to deconstruct one of them because I made a mock, but I'm sure he's got pictures as well. But I'll show some.
yes, we I always pull up images off Google just to.
I've got the real thing too to compliment. So this is. I can't remember what this is.
Let's give him the full screen, guys.
Well, doggy,
Oh,
look at
Wow.
That was fast.
Very.
Yeah.
And then this thing is magnetized, so it just
that. Whoa.
pulls right out.
Oh, wow.
And then so it's like kind of like a drop ship. If I can balance this on my mic,
Cool.
we can just. Oh no, it's very specific. You can see like the length of this thing is the exact length of the
Yeah,
space that it goes
it's
into,
tight.
but literally it just
Does
magnets
it
on
stay
it.
centered when you
Yeah.
turn it? Like if you tip the ship, does it lean with the ship or does it stay
A
flat?
little bit. It's got some wiggle room there because the magnet. I've got the magnet is on a bit of a swivel, as you can see.
Uh-huh.
Like it's got some wiggle room on there. But otherwise, that is what is it called? Do they have a name for it? They have a name. Like it's something transport. But they're the main
tunnel transport.
The main color accents are obviously that dark. What is it? What do they call it? Dark turquoise. I think that's just what the Lego color for it is. That dark, that bluish kind of teal color, and then
Medium
the yellow.
azure.
Medium azure. Is that what it is? I think that's a different one because this is even darker.
Oh,
it's hard to tell.
I think it looks like the one that I use for Christophsis a lot, and that one's called medium azure.
This is the only set that I don't have right here. That is just over that base. So that's the only one I don't have, but that's one I'll get eventually. Whether it's in a used haul or I pay the $100-something for it.
So just a little background on it. Rock Raiders was a theme that was introduced in 1999 and discontinued in 2000. It is based on space travel / miners trapped on an alien planet. It consists of 8 main sets, 4 promotional sets, and 3 minifigure-based sets, and also a video game based on the theme for both PC and PlayStation gamings. Story. I was just gonna quickly read the story because we love a good story, and we always say that a good theme is only as good as the story. So
I'm not even 100% versed on this, so we're good.
All right, let's do this then. The Rock Raiders were traveling on their spaceship, the LMS Explorer, mapping the whole galaxy. They had just finished their journey and were headed home when they drifted into an asteroid field. The ship was badly damaged, and to make matters worse, a wormhole caught the ship in its gravitational pull. The fuel supply was drained in the failed attempt to escape. The LMS Explorer was flung into a distant galaxy. They found themselves around the planet U, a planet rich in mysterious power crystals. They sent down Rock Raiders to mine it and found vast amounts of energy crystals to power and repair their LMS Explorer. But they were encountered many alien creatures. The team would endure numerous hardships to attain the crystals, and they eventually triumphed and successfully grabbed enough crystals to return home. So, Rock Monsters, which was the big bad, which this theme also had another theme based off it later on, Power Miners. So, which does
the story actually go together, or is it like separate? Or because I know they're similar
I'm pretty sure it's
themes,
separate.
But I'm never sure if the lore. I was never sure if the lore actually connected.
We'll have to look at Power Miners another day and figure out if the lore was connected there. But I do know that they kind of took the look of this and put it into Power Miners. And I do know like the Rock Monsters kind of stayed a little bit similar.
It's the same basic concept. I mean, it is like alien rocks, and like so these are what came in the little rocks, these little transparent green crystals. This is what they were after. And then, like you see in the picture, we got our rock monsters. These are really cool.
A baby Rancor.
And then
very 8-bit, as you can see.
Yeah. And then also, as you can see, we did get 6 main characters, which is pretty cool when a theme actually gives you these like main characters. Axel, Bandit, Chief, Dox, Jet, and Sparks. So yeah, I mean there's some really I like Doc. I just like the like Civil War looking outfit from him, but I do like a lot of these.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we got a lot of theme here. If you guys want me to click on any images in particular, just let me know.
I like the walk and drill. That's cool.
Yeah, that's actually the one that I deconstructed to build a mock because I wanted to use the carriage. So this is actually a Rock Raiders mock that I built. It's basically a version of this theme on treads, and then it's hard to do if I'm not on a flat surface. But basically, this mechanism on the back is like a dump truck type mechanism, and it's meant to harvest rocks. And then if I had it on a surface, I could actually show you. It actually harvests the rock and then pulls it up into the vessel. So then it's ready for research purposes, and then it just drives away on its treads.
The functionality is amazing.
That was what I kind of was talking about earlier. It's hard to make a mock that has, and that was the goal of that mock, was to make it able to scoop up rocks and then also roll on its treads and have some sort of lore to it. So that's a nice little display.
Yeah, Zane, you always like to know kind of what what all the sets looked like put together. You and Matt.
Yes.
Here we go, guys. This is Rock Raiders, all of them put together.
Can you get that larger?
Let me see here.
Possible.
I like the one that's hanging by the little hook.
That's the transport one you just had.
No, let me
Nah,
do
not much
this.
bigger. Okay. No, it's fine. It's okay. It doesn't
It's very hard.
Ooh, look at that mock right there with the cave.
Yeah,
That's
some of
pretty
those
cool.
must be mocks because that thing on the left, that boxy looking vessel,
Mhm.
I don't
Like a
know what
cave?
that's from.
Yeah, it looks like a mock.
It's like a little control station or something. It's
Yeah.
weird.
So how many
Uh,
sets were produced from the theme?
What did they say?
8.
6, 8? I think 2 of them
Eight.
were poly bags, like very small.
Yeah, they
Got
said
it.
5 from. Let's see up here. 3 minifigure based sets and then 4 promotional sets. Wait, why did it say 8? I thought it told me 8. Yeah, 8 main sets. And then I guess maybe the video game was also maybe part of that, I
Minifigure
guess.
base sets are basically minifigure poly bags, or like
Oh, okay.
they like back in the day they did a lot more of them. They would basically come with like 3 minifigures and then literally like a couple of little brick belt like things for like a computer. There you go. That's
Yeah,
exactly that.
Oh, that's like
Exactly
a
that
through.
thing. It's like a minifigure poly bag essentially, and I think that's what they're referring to as like minifigure promotional sets.
I wish they
Wow.
still did that.
Yeah.
That was
Oh,
cool.
that's so cool looking.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
In the right setting, yeah, it just gives you that.
Yeah.
That definitely gives you some immersion into the feel.
Well, it tells the story. That's the whole.
and I
That's
don't
where,
feel
and as a
like-
kid, that's where your imagination. Wow, that looks
That's cool.
Honestly, can I just say, with other like themes we've looked at, we haven't seen this many people like put like. I mean,
Huge
we've seen it in
mocks.
Star Wars, but like well done mocks for the theme.
I've always
Mhm.
wanted to do something like that, and in like
That
an
is-
actually enclosed cave. That was
Yeah.
amazing.
that does.
Wow.
Oh, we got even this one down here.
Wow,
That
That's
is
cool.
slick.
that guy built.
Oh,
my
I love
dreams.
rock work because it's so. It's so
Dude, that
epic.
vessel is dope. It's got like
Yeah.
2 grinders, and it like you could. Oh, that's so cool.
The guy behind it, guys, I know you're looking at the machine, but I was looking at the construction worker with his headphones on and his instructions. His blueprint, he's like, all right, we're going this way.
As if they have this alien planet mapped out.
Right, yeah, exactly.
But honestly,
true.
I think this is
So that's
something
the
very
whole
unique.
theme.
Yeah.
As a 3D model.
Yeah.
How did
I'm
it
guessing-
end up doing when it came out?
It went from 1999 to 2000, so that just goes to
Not
show
very
probably
good.
Not too well.
Not very good, but it still has
Didn't
this
sell.
following now.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
it's one of your favorite themes, for instance.
It just sucks because it's one of those things that it was popular, but kids aren't in control of buying it.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah,
I mean? You know,
totally.
they have the ones with the opinions and all that stuff, but like if their parents aren't buying them or if they didn't see value in that, because think about it, what else came out in 1999? Star
Yeah.
Wars.
Yep.
The very
Dude,
first X-Wing.
They got steamrolled. What rock raiders? This is Star Wars. Like no.
So true. So true.
And honestly, because I was a huge fan of Power Miners. Like I loved Power Miners growing up. This like gives off so many of the same vibes, and it's
Mhm.
awesome that they have like this fun story attached. Like they also had a video game, and you're right. This like so many themes got steamrolled by Star Wars just because it's like, well, what can I get? A Star Wars set or this? Like,
X-wing or this rock miner. It sounds cool, but then doesn't sound as cool next to. Whoa, that is
That's
fancy.
awesome. That's
that is
awesome.
Yeah.
awesome.
I love
You
the
got
way they
that
built
looking-
that gem.
Mm-hmm.
Makes this one look like a baby, dude.
Honestly,
They
yeah, like,
went
that's
for it there.
insane.
They
That's
really
honestly
iterated that
insane.
and
And it
upgraded
goes to show if this theme ever came back and Lego utilized their newer techniques and parts, how amazing that
Oh.
would actually look.
that. Mhm.
Mhm.
For the record, I do have to say, this does look a bit goofy. We can all agree on that. Like that is like
That
these,
one
like-
looks super goofy, and its function, the way its legs move, it's just a shimmy. Like there's no
Yeah.
up and down. So it's like, how is this thing actually? Especially if it's walking on uneven rocks, if it can't even lift its foot up, it just has to slide. There's
Oh
no
my
way.
gosh.
But like, in all honesty, like how cool would it be to see this, but as like a newer version of it, with, like,
With
the
legs.
mech, like
Yeah.
the mechs you could build nowadays. We're like, honestly, like they did a good job. And yes, like 'cause I mean the ATST from back in the day, like the original, that had shimmy legs on it. Like they weren't great with like these cool mechs, but it's
Mhm.
still like it's still got some really cool stuff here. So
I love
Well-
the chrome gold. No, the
Yes.
chrome drills.
The drill?
Like that's
Yes.
those
Yeah.
are
The color is just it pops. This is actually one from a newer, less used set because the one I have is from my childhood.
Yeah.
Oh,
But it's
wow.
just
Great.
so shiny.
yeah.
It's the draw of the whole theme for me. That and then for some reason these brown cage pieces.
Oh,
Yeah.
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 Super cool.
Also, sorry, I gotta point out this is an awesome little miniature build here. Like all
Oh,
the
that
sets
is
as
it.
miniatures.
It's a mini build.
Wow, that's so cool. I just realized
this
this could
is
transport
awesome.
ship flying away
All right, guys,
perfectly.
we gotta
Wow.
put this somewhere. We've been gushing over this, but we gotta put answers to this. Ethan,
What's
start
below
off
F?
I have a question.
Yes.
Why is this your favorite theme?
Yes, that's
I
a
would
good question.
say it's nostalgia based, and it's probably my favorite theme from my childhood. I wouldn't say it's like
Got it.
still to this day, like oh my god, like it's just Rock Raiders and only
Yeah.
Rock Raiders. But I would say it's definitely holds the most nostalgia, and just I look back at it with the most fond memories.
It's that personal connection.
Exactly.
Mm.
And that's why I wanted
And
to do
it's
this theme while we
like off
had
the beaten
summoning.
path too.
Yeah.
And you were
Yes.
like 8 when this came out, 8 or
Yeah.
9, and that's like I mean
Perfect
that's like
age.
perfect
The
for
memory making years.
Mhm.
Exactly.
I love the mocks. Like
Yeah.
of all the tier lists, I haven't seen this many mocks about this. So it's
We're not
so
reading
much-
the mocks, Ethan. We're
But like, you gotta think though, this theme is like it gives you enough where it inspires you to want to build mocks. It gives you the groundworks to have a fun like story, and it's like, go make your own mocks. Here's the minifigures for the story. Go make your own mocks. Go make your own stories with these. So
Yeah. Like maybe like the fact that it didn't last that long, I feel like it really benefited for the mocking community because it kind of put their foot in the door. Like we're lost in space, we're mining these specific things, and this is kind of what the things look like. Go nuts! And so like since there's not crazy amounts of sets, it allowed people to use their imagination to expand this and make this entire world whatever they wanted to make it.
That's a really
So-
good point. Lego didn't flesh out the story as much, so it left more room for people to do it themselves.
Your imagination goes crazy. I really like this theme.
I was gonna say it gives you a good beginning and end point. So it's like, how did they? Because in the story we talked about, it gave you beginning and end point. It's like, okay, what did the middle part look like? What did how did they go after this? How did these rock monsters appear? Like, so Zane, you really did like this. Quick question: if this theme went going, do you think that they could have outputted some newer sets, some good sets to go along with it?
Oh yeah, most definitely.
I think so. I think updated pieces. I think in this whole world, kind of like Ninjago or other themes that are Lego based, I feel like there's so much potential that they could have, and especially with it not being real life, with it just being all your imagination, I feel like they could have gone crazy with it. They could have gone from a rock planet to like a fire planet to an ice planet to all these different worlds and different crystals and different monsters and ships and
they have different equipment to mine with.
Yeah, exactly.
They even mentioned some stuff in the story that we didn't see. The LMS spaceship, like we didn't see that. Like that could have been a set right there. Like
It's definitely a lot more immersive than like Nexo Knights or
Oh,
Cheetah
yeah.
was. Like there's almost like what do you follow there? Like what is there to care about?
Yeah.
Unless they give you some crazy original story, which you probably wouldn't get out of Lego. But then look at Ninjago, they actually hit the nail on the head there. They've got an interesting, original-ish story, I'm sure. And then, it's got like the right theme, which is ninjas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, does
But I
it
don't know how
compete?
successful it would have been because then look like how long. I mean, it's not what we're talking about. Power miners, like how long did that run for?
Not very long.
That's
right?
essentially you can consider that Power or Rock Raiders 2.0 in a way.
Yeah.
Totally.
And that did go on for a while, and it was a very popular theme when it was out. Like me and my friends, like we tried to buy up every set. I remember that was like the commercials for that theme too were on point, just making you want those sets. Like, yeah. So we got to get to this. We got to put this somewhere. Starting with you, Ethan. Give me a letter
From the ground up.
I would compare, with the Lego movie, that first wave of the Lego movie sets. I loved the Lego movie sets. I never got really many, but I would put it in an A. So
you think it does better than the Lego movie? He was better.
I would put it right behind the Lego movie.
So
when did
B.
Minecraft become an A?
That's what we put that in the A.
I know.
I
If you
actually
weren't there,
kind of agree. I'd say Minecraft is an A because
Thank you.
how,
Someone
how
understand.
accurate it's like it's
Yes.
so almost to scale accurate. And it's almost like it was meant to be. You know, the blockiness of Minecraft and it makes for a perfectly, like, you can look at, if you looked at like a Lego Minecraft world from a distance, it would almost look like a regular Minecraft world rendering for you.
Daddy
I think
Brooks
as
says so
it's
it's
too
true.
easy
Okay.
for me. It's just way too easy for me. That's my
I
problem.
think as an unbiased opinion, I think Minecraft is great. You know,
Yeah.
but I
Alright.
love Minecraft. Like, and
But okay,
No, I
we're
love
not talking
Minecraft.
about
I don't like.
We're gonna talk about Minecraft. But Matt, you actually got to show up for these to be.
Hey!
Oh.
Okay,
Man.
Zane.
Where are you at, Zane? Here.
Well, you guys know that I'm not a big mock builder. I'm more of a set builder, and so I feel like, you know, the excitement that I have for those mocks, it has never happened to me. Like, even with Star Wars mocks, there's so many Star Wars sets, there's so many Star Wars things you can do that have already been done. It's kind of numb to me. The fact that you look at that, like, I don't know, out of any of these sets, even with Star Wars or Indiana Jones, I have not been that excited for a mock. And I'm not just saying that because Epix is here. I'm sorry.
Well, you're a
I'll-
construction guy too, aren't you?
that maybe that's it. Maybe it's the
I think
tools
that-
they have to use,
Yep.
the construction
The
side of
equipment.
things, the equipment. I love it. Like, I would give it an S in my opinion.
Quick
Like-
question, Zane. Though I just
Ask.
want to know, what about the sets themselves? Are these sets that you would want to buy and display? Because like that is something you like to do.
I would.
Would you buy this and display it?
I would. And basing that right there, kind of like Epik said, the nostalgia of it, because I have the 99A wing, the 99X wing, all that stuff. And yes, it's blocky. Yes, it's rough. But to me, it just screams somebody grabbed a Ben. They made something cool. They made a story and they said, here, go nuts. Take more of these Lego and go make whatever you want.
But
And-
would you rate it that before nostalgia? Like, would you rate it that when it came out?
When it came, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I would rate it an S right now.
Mm-hmm.
But going back to when I was building Lego in the beginning, I
You'd
would
probably be
rate
more interested in Castle and other stuff, or
well,
whatever it was at
not
the time.
Castle, but Star Wars.
Star
Obviously,
Wars.
Star Wars trumps it. So I would, to me, it's between A and S. It's between an A and an S. I
Okay.
think it's
It's like
better than Minecraft, but I don't necessarily think if it's as good as Pirates, because Pirates was good from the beginning to the end. Same with Indiana Jones. You know, I think
Yeah.
a solid A would be a good spot for it, in my opinion.
Brad,
And Matt, What
Brad,
about you?
Brad, you're next. It's from
No,
the ground
I
up.
always go last. This is always how this
Right.
goes. No, I mean, okay, so honestly, I was excited about those mocks too. I saw those mocks and they got me excited. And the sets, I have a nostalgic feel for Power Miners. I always have a nostalgic feel for old themes too. But honestly, just look at the sets. There's some fun elements there, and they are actually kind of fun looking. Like I don't know. They're the type of sets I would love to get, because I used to, when I was like big into building stuff, I'd love to buy sets that I could build stuff off of. If I
Yeah.
could build a little world around that, I love doing that. So honestly, I would put it in A. A good solid A. I think is a good place for this theme.
Nice.
Nate, what do you think?
I honestly, because I try to take the nostalgia out of it,
Mhm.
I'd probably put it a solid B, because depending on who you ask,
Yep.
it's going to go higher up on that list the more familiar you are with it. So with me, growing up with it, clearly it's going to be a little bit on the bias side towards higher. But like Zane said, they're a little clunky. They aren't, they're large pieces. Like, I mean, what is this? Like, if you guys can see this whole bottom.
Yeah.
This whole thing is
Yeah.
one piece, and then you put 4 wheels on it, and then you put a couple of these large, arcs, and then you put the big giant. This other whole piece is one piece. I mean, it's really not that many pieces to put together, but for a kid who wants to build something, but also just play with it after they've built it, it's great, because once you break it, it's not so hard to put back together.
Mhm.
But I'd say
Good
it's
set
a
to drop
solid
test.
Dude, if you drop tested this, everything but the wheels
Crack.
would probably come off.
Solid B. All right.
I'd say
Matt.
solid B.
I honestly, I'm feeling the same way. Like, you take all the nostalgia out of it,
Yeah.
you put that on
Yeah.
the shelf back in
Yeah.
1999, compared to all of those other sets, it's not there
Well,
yet. And
You
I
take away,
think, like, and it's more comparable to Pharaoh's Quest for me too.
Yeah.
Like a solid theme for what it was. They didn't expand on it too much. The sets look great for how they are all together.
Mhm.
And it's not something that I would necessarily collect. So, I mean, I have that personal bias, but I think for other people, the story is there. And I mean, clearly people still love it today because it does have that nostalgia trip, not only for you, but for other people to make mocks out of it.
Yeah.
I mean, I would drop it down to a B2 after you saying that. Yeah. Take it out.
Yeah,
That-
because
see a lot of it.
if it was nostalgia, Star Wars would be S.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that
So
makes
we-
sense. You're right. I could go with B. Like you said, Pharaoh's Quest was a good example. Honestly.
Oh, do we have to rank it within B too?
You guys think? No, I
It
just throw it in
helps.
there.
It helps
No.
to try to.
Just
It's
goes
not
in
better
there.
than X. So quick question. So we got this one here. What are your thoughts on Star Wars not being S tier theme?
I was actually kind of surprised when I first saw the whole list.
I'm biased. I'm
Okay,
I think
so
it's just like it's like you either make Star Wars the standard or you ignore, like, because like Star Wars is like could be S tier just because it's the most popular.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's clear, like hands down, it makes the most money. Lego makes the most of those sets other than City. They put the most effort into it, the most advertising. Everybody, that's what most people care about. But
Yeah.
then you could that's obviously what also gives it the A tier, is that it's maybe overrated.
But
Yeah.
then you have people like Fazoom.
Well, like we looked at it
rated
and, like
Star Wars. Yeah, go ahead, Brad. Go ahead.
we seriously went back to 1999, looked at that theme, jumped 5 years, jumped another 5 years, and we're like, oh my gosh, look at 99. This looks amazing. This looks good. Jumped another, oh my gosh, this looks even awesomer. Jumped another 5 years. This looks even awesomer. Jumped another 5 years. Oh,
We rated
this
it
is-
as a whole.
yeah.
Every up and down that they've had along the way.
Does
And
Disney have anything to do with that? Because look about the time Disney picked them up and where their sets went. Because you could
Oh.
argue that right around that same time is when they really stopped not
Corporate.
doing those really cool sets that people are kind of disappointed
Yeah.
in now.
For me, the builds changed. They
Mhm.
like okay, like the Technic, they focus on sturdiness than the build, building the
yeah.
mock. I feel like that's just me. Like
And-
he could
like
talk
with
about
Bill-
that even more. The guy
Mhm.
down
Like-
there.
But okay, let's say a set 10 years ago and a set another one like today. I feel like if you could destroy it, you could build like a set 10 years ago, you could kind of rebuild it into something your own. While today you have so much Technic in there.
It
Where-
limits you more.
Yeah.
That does make sense because I could like I said, like with the Rock Raider sets, like if you were to drop this thing, there's nothing holding any other parts together other than just bricks really stacked on top of each other. Whereas you're right, newer sets, if there's any sort of foundation, they always start it with like a couple of bricks that have technicals in it. So that way you can put some pins in there and build onto the side of that. And then instead of having a base plate with bricks on it, you've got this base plate with like 4 layers of Technicked bricks that are now the framework of it, like the Razor Crest. There's only so many parts that it looks like that thing will shatter, but it's got like a box frame inside of there. It's pretty solid.
And look at the newest X-Wing. The back end of that is this massive tech work junk that you don't even like understand what's happening. Once you're done with it, you'll figure it out. But like, it's insane. But like, Lego for Star Wars for also us became more about the minifigures. Like the minifigures became really good, kept getting better, but then the set started losing quality, and so that's one of the reasons we're just like, well, it is an amazing theme. We love Star Wars. We are all massive Star Wars fans. That is what got us into Lego. But there's also like this part here. It's just like,
I do
It
like
feels
your
more
S
like-
tiers, though.
Yeah.
thank you.
It feels more like action figure based nowadays.
Yeah.
But Zane could talk about it even more because he's been getting the older Star Wars sets more and more.
Yes. So as far as Technic goes, like this is the 2015 UCS TIE Fighter. This entire thing is zero Technic. This thing is all bricks. The way that they have the bricks locked into the foils is amazing. It goes in, a piece folds over, and then there's a wedge piece that goes in there to hold it solid. And it is
Oh wow.
free as hell. My wife hit the Jeep mirror with this, and it didn't break.
Oh,
Like she did. She turned and she was like, "What?" And I was like, "What the hell?" And she's like, "Nothing wrong. It's okay." But
That's pretty impressive.
Exactly. But then you turn around and you have the Star Destroyer, and that thing is one hollow Technic piece. It's got flat plates everywhere, but it's completely Technic. Same with the Falcon. Same with the A-Wing. All of them are 90% Technic, with some pieces on the shell to make it look like what it is.
I think it's the Flying Dutchman from Pirates of the Caribbean, or there's one of them it's a pirate ship, but it's the one that's like got the whole side that's like rotted, so it's not actually a full ship. And I want to say that one is the like you can't even pick that thing up without the shattering part of the ship off because it's all just tiny little bricks stuck together.
It's the one from the 5th movie. I can't remember.
I don't know what it's called either. The 5th movie was where I dropped off.
I think it's displayed on a stand, like it doesn't even sit on the actual body of the ship.
Yeah. It was pretty bad set.
You guys are right. Like they've gotten a lot more into the Technic thing lately. You know, since 2016, stuff like that. And I honestly think that's kind of a downside to the newer sets. I really do.
Yeah.
They're a lot less fun and creative.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like Lego is kind of leaning towards the adult audience for sturdiness, and you know, it's more. Yes, Technic is definitely more complex than like an older set. Yeah. So I feel like Lego is just leaning towards the adult.
You also get
audience.
function. You get function out of Technic. You can do things with Technic that you could never dream of with just bricks sticking together. Like if you want a little compartment, or you want something to transform to a certain extent, or whatever it is.
Like the 99 X-Wing has compartments all over the place, but then the new X-Wing...
That's not Technic, those are different.
Yeah, they're not Technic. I'm just saying they have compartments, but then you have the 2021 X-Wing that is Technic with no compartments anywhere.
Yeah, there's pros and cons with...
They went more in, I think, because with new X-Wings, they really like to make their wings move and give that function.
Yeah.
Playability.
Which is weird because I think over the years they've really changed up how because before it used to not move at all, or you had to move them by hand, and then they had the little twisty thing in the back, and now the newest one you push that thing at the top, and I think that one's by far the most annoying.
Yeah, because it doesn't stay up either,
and there's no retracting it either.
No,
once you want to put them back, you have to, which is kind of lame to me.
But I mean, it's a cheap built X-wing, and I appreciate that.
What is it? A $40 X-wing, right?
$50.
I think I got it for free at Walmart. I always go off Walmart price.
quick question before we end here: Is there any theme on this list that you highly disagree with? Out of curiosity,
I can see all of them. What's that one in E?
That's esports. No, sorry, not esports. Sports. Lego Sports.
Oh yeah,
the soccer players and the basketball guys.
I think that should be higher.
Well, we discussed that it's stuck to the time. Like, you don't want to get minifigures from back then because who are they? Like, you don't even know like the players, because sports players are always changing, and then the sets didn't have great displayability and stuff.
I think like if they redid not necessarily soccer, but I think if they did the basketball, I think that would do really well because the basketball was really fun. It was like because you could actually shoot the hoops with the guys and the spring legs and all that. Yeah. But the soccer, I don't think would do great. But that was also almost funner than the basketball was because it was almost more realistic. Granted, the guys didn't move around, but you could still at least pass the ball from one guy to another and all that stuff. But overall, minifigure wise, there's not much going on there unless like I've actually got. Well, there goes that.
Oh no.
Don't worry, it was just a couple of minifigures on a stand. So
no!
But this is one of the sets from that, and it's got Kobe Bryant, and this one's probably one of the most worthwhile ones. But what I just dropped was actually I haven't shown these off too much. They're like Lego store exclusives, so they come on these little things. Cool. Let me put them back where they're supposed to be real quick.
And you just dropped it. Nice.
Yeah.
I just exploded them. They're not actually too expensive. The only thing unique about each of these figures are their torsos. Each one of them, like they had like a social day, emotional, creative. You can kind of see all the different types of things. But each one of them has a exclusive torso. Otherwise, everything else about them can be found from other Lego sets or parts.
Yeah. Kind of cool. You dropped Lego, cool. And Matt didn't have to say G-rated content.
Yeah, Zane.
I haven't dropped Lego in so long.
You have. Yeah, I think you in like one time you like dropped a say like, oh. But yeah, guys, we do need to wrap up the show here. We're at like 11 o'clock. So quick thing.
Yeah. I did have Discord questions from like the Discord server with
we're
questions
for 2 hours. Like,
yeah,
Ethan, ask 2 questions. Keep it quick, Ethan, because I want to make
quick.
sure that people from the Discord
Oh, I can't see. I gotta. Okay.
Keep it quick.
Two or
I can't
three,
see.
like rapid fire.
Okay.
I was looking for the questions. Yeah.
Most of them have already been said, I guess. I remember one was why TikTok.
Why TikTok?
Mhm.
It's pretty easy. It's the new and biggest thing to get seen on. It's like if there's in the time when radio comes out or TV, you want to be on the front of where everybody's attention is. And right now, TikTok is where a lot of attention is and a lot of organic attention. So it's look at where if you were to just do Instagram, where would you be compared to if you just did TikTok? So that's basically the reason.
Yeah, in my opinion, TikTok is kind of the fuel for the other social medias like YouTube and Instagram.
Not only that, but I actually like it. It's fun. When I switched from scrolling through Instagram for hours and then going to TikTok for hours, boring. I find way more interesting content on TikTok. So.
And another one is, what were the best and worst moments of being a TikToker and Bricklink seller?
I guess worst moments. I guess that's kind of an interesting because what do you mean by worst? I guess one of the hardest, I guess we can go is like difficult was being so new at social media and watching other people maybe do other niches very successfully and me not knowing what I was doing at all and still not knowing what I'm doing to this point. And then maybe, if you see someone do really well, and then you're not doing that well, sometimes you can take that personally and you can't. So maybe that was the hardest part, was learning that you have to go at your own pace and not pay attention to what other people are doing, even if they're passing you up or doing the same thing and doing it better, or whatever it is. You can't be like, oh, well, I shouldn't do it at all then. Otherwise I'd be done 9 months ago. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nathan.
And then one more. Do you have any pets? That's
I have
a good.
2 dogs.
Ooh,
Yes,
awesome.
and I remember on one of your streams you talked about how you wouldn't let them into your Lego room just because they would get hair everywhere.
Yeah, I want to be friendly and I love my dogs to death, but if you think about it, every day, a couple hours a day, or every couple of days, it adds up. Next year, this whole Lego room will have hair everywhere, and that's just not where you want to be.
No.
What
kind of dogs are they?
He's speaking.
I have a 3-legged pit bull and then a very old lady shepherd. She's not a shepherd. She's a, what is she? She's like a shepherd mix.
Guys, I think me and Epik just became best friends again.
You don't have a tripod, do you?
I have a tripod, but I have a pit bull. His name's Diesel. I have a pit bull and a mini Australian Shepherd.
Tripod.
All right, we got to end this.
Alrighty, guys. Well, first off, thank you so very, very much, Epik, for coming on and hanging out with us.
I would love to, even if it's one day, I'd love to take a Friday night or Saturday night? You guys
usually try to stick to Fridays.
Friday. I can try to get off early on a Friday or take a Friday off or switch it to a morning shift or whatever it is, so I'm available at night. I'd love to join you guys on Friday.
Okay.
We really appreciate that. We will. And we can't wait. At some point, we want to get you, Grandpa Nate, or any other Lego sellers. To be able to actually talk about investing in this hobby that we all know and love very well. So just get a group of you and just to chat about it would be so great and informative for all of our viewers as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of not misinformation, but there's not a lot of information out there.
No.
So it's not like people are getting misled, but they can't even get a lead. So I love
that. And
your mistakes are trial and error,
Exactly.
I've done a lot of that.
And it's ever changing too. So that's also very important. But guys, thank you so much for joining tonight. Everybody who stuck around the entire time, I want to thank you for being here. And this is what we have to look forward to in the future. I mean, it just gets better and better. Each show just gets a lot more fun. And I love talking to you guys as well. So
And guys, we are still having the Friday episode. We're doing 2 episodes this week, just a special for Epik Bricks. But we are going to have another episode this Friday with more information, with more jokes, with more of us, with more of Zane.
If you like that, if you like that sort of thing.
Not quite as epic though.
And with that, thank you so much, guys, for being here tonight, and have a great one. Bye.
My long